We're on.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. I know I was sitting here staring at things for a minute because I was typing a last-minute note before we started. Good evening, and welcome to the finale of Waterdeep Dragon Heist with the Winter Feelings crew, hosted by Variant Roles. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Eugenio Vargas. I use he, him pronouns, and I am also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jazzy Hands, from the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge. Let's go around and do introductions before we kick this off tonight. Tonight, let's start with Steven. How are you tonight, Steven?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
I play Rowan Tossgobble Porridgepot. There's a hyphen between Tossgobble and Porridgepot. He's a halfling bardlock, although he prefers the word hin. Both of our pronouns are he, him. And I also play familiar Auntie Hasha, and her pronouns are she, her.
Fantastic. Let's do Max next. Max, how are you?
Hi,
I
I'm
like
Max.
that mask.
I'm crying on the inside.
I'm terrified by.
It'll come into play a little later, I think. I'm
I know it will.
Max. I he him pronouns, but my character, the seasonally gendered Eladrin, is they them. But later on tonight, it will be she them. So let's have fun with that.
Fantastic. I love it. Jonathan, hi.
Hey, I'm Jonathan, doing well tonight. Ready to do this. It's the finale. It's been 12 weeks. Nuts. I play Rocky. He's our monk brawler who managed to die and not have to suffer too many penalties for that last week.
Yes.
So let's do this.
All right. Let's see who's next. Allison, how are you this week?
I'm doing great, and I can turn to the correct side and look at you.
No, yay!
So I'll look at the viewers now in the camera.
Okay, great.
But yeah, my name's Allison, and I play Anivel Rothkama, the half-orc barbarian who runs away. And she, her for me and my character's pronouns. And I just wanna stand up a little bit here, kind of show the
check this
Variant
out.
Roles shirt. Y'all guys can get one TeePublic. Anyways, there we go. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for the plug. Yes, for the record, viewers and listeners, Annie has felt guilty about running away all week long. Alex, last but most certainly not least.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is... I get to go this way. I'm going to look this way.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
we
We're
go.
getting good at this. Good thing it's time to
Yes.
be done.
All right. Back to the front. My name is Alexander Gaston. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, the silver-skinned tiefling rogue troublemaker Somei. I have been crying on the inside this week as well. So he, but yep.
Yep. Feelings.
Yep. I'm going to stop right there.
All right. So we are ready, like I said, for the finale. Before I do the quick recap of last week, I do want to say that I have really had a great time, and the community that Variant Roles has put together for this adventure has been awesome. All of you players who are in the other teams, you are wonderful. It has been so nice to get to meet you and chat with you in the Discord and all of that. You should go away now. There are going to be a lot of spoilers in this particular episode, and while I will miss you dearly in the chat, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I think even if you are capable of not metagaming with your character in your finale session this week, I think it'll just be more exciting for you if you do not know about them ahead of time. So thanks for stopping by. We love you. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Digital door.
Digital door. Goodbye. I'll give them a moment while I pull up my recap. Here we go. Okay, so now that they're gone and there's nobody left. No, that's not true. A little bit about last week. Last week, our friends here continued their hunt for the mysterious Stone of Galore, which they had tracked across the city in the dead of winter. They engaged in combat against a group of cultists of Bane, who were allied with a particularly troublesome faction of the Zentarum. Midway through the combat, reality shifted. The Baneites disappeared, and 3 children appeared, one of whom was holding the Stone of Galore and looking very confused. Before the party could gather their wits, however, they heard a strange voice say something about moving the timeline forward. Reality shifted again, the children disappeared, and the Baneites reappeared, but they were all lying on the ground, dead, as if cut down by our character's various weapons and spells. Not wanting to lift a horse in the words. Not wanting to look a gift horse in the mouth, they searched the high priestess's robes, found the stone, and were headed out of the tower when they were confronted by a very powerful spellcaster with an artificial arm and a desire to get the stone for himself. There was drama, there were feelings. I don't want to say too much on the off chance that you have not watched last week's episode, which would be super confusing at this point anyway, but just in case, suffice it to say, the party got away with the stone and headed back to the fighting spirits after alerting some of the local figures that they've been interacting with. Theron, however, as the keeper of the stone, went and spent some time meditating upon it and learned some very valuable information about the location of a vault that holds Dagult Neverember's embezzled hoard of gold dragons. The coin, not the creature. And so that is where we begin today, this finale of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We are going to start with Theron, who has gotten information from this stone and is about to make their way back to the Fighting Spirit to meet up with the rest of the party. Theron, what you doing?
Well, I've gotten up and I'm still dragging the sled that has the lid-lined box on it in case it becomes useful.
Oh, yes.
And I've got my mask pulled down, and I just, as I'm walking, don't care if anyone sees me. It's a blizzard, I'm assuming, because it always is.
Yes. Oh, yes, it still is. Yeah, it's been really, really bad just the last 2 days or so, but a lot has happened in those last 2 days, so it feels like it's been a lot longer.
Okay, so I'm whispering into my mask. So is this it? Is this stone why I came here in the first place? Is this my mission?
I need you to roll for me. Roll percentile for me.
All right. First is 5. Second number is 2.
52. Okay, so it is rare when you try and directly address your patron, at least lately since you arrived in Waterdeep. It's been rare that they have responded to you directly in any sort of very clear way. Like, it's not like you've gotten like actual voiced, worded, languaged answers, right? You sometimes get feelings, like everyone else on this crew. If I recall correctly, back towards the beginning of our adventure, you sort of got some feelings about a certain something that is currently slipping my mind.
About whether the rumor about the vault was...
Oh, yes, that's what it was. Exactly. So this time, you do sort of get a similar feeling to that, actually, that like a sort of like rightness and like pieces falling into place. But as they do, you could swear, and maybe it was just the wind, but you could swear you heard a deep voice chuckling. And then it was gone, and maybe it was just the wind passing down this alleyway.
I hold up the stone, I look at it and go, well, at least you talked to me. And I trudge back to the fighting spirits.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so Theron finally arrives. Now, just to check in with the rest of the crew, and once again to list off the things that you did while Theron was attuning to the stone. I believe that you went to... Did you go speak with Crowley, Sergeant Crowley?
Yes.
Yes, of the City Watch. And who else did you go and speak with?
I think Rocky and Somei went to speak to Vajra.
Went to speak to Vajra. That's right. I knew there was another one. Okay, was there anything else?
We would have gone done a little shopping. If,
yes, great. Yep, we'll take care of that in just a minute because you're right. We should go through that. Anything else?
Did we get Neverember? Oh no,
we don't know any of that yet.
Right. I don't think you know I think the plan was to get him the next day anyway. Sorry, it's.
I don't.
The rain. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, yeah. So that I think will be a thing for the morrow when you find out more details about what Theron knows.
Got it.
Okay, so just to catch up, so you went to talk to Crowley, sort of gave him the heads up about some things. He let you know that the prisoner that you brought in, they identified her and are holding her for questioning and trial. So that's
Great.
all good there. Her name is Vivette Blackwater, if that
Yeah. Okay.
any of you, which it probably doesn't. But so she's being held, and he does somewhat begrudgingly. Thank you for that. You go to speak with Vajra, and unfortunately, she is extremely busy. But you're able to speak with one of the other apparitions in the tower.
Is it the same spectral I spoke with last time?
It is probably that half elf one that you all liked so much. The one that was a little more jovial and like impish, not actually imp. That's I guess maybe not a term I should use in D&D, since that means something very different. Yes, I think it was her that you all spoke with, and sort of, and she became more serious than you'd ever seen her, as she took in that information and promised to let Vajra know right away as soon as she was able. Okay, you all wanted to go shopping in Troll Skull Alley. I don't remember what you wanted. Potions? Question mark?
Potions!
We need potions.
Great. I'm gonna make a few quick. Oh, you guys.
What?
Okay. Anyone who doesn't, this is a thing that I do on occasion because I don't always pay attention when I'm preparing to all of the necessities of Dungeons and Dragons. So any of you who do not have inspiration can currently take inspiration, because I started playing Dungeons and Dragons without getting my dice.
Oh no! For shame.
Free inspiration.
Inspiration.
All right.
There
Well,
you
now
go.
that he's away, let's have some role play.
Okay, yeah.
Quick, everybody talk about what they want to
Yeah. What are you guys feeling?
But I left them unsupervised for.
Oh, he's back. Oh my gosh. Not enough
Okay.
time.
I'm going to do a couple of quick rolls to see what you all have. What you all have earned through. Ooh, that's a nice roll for you. Through the fighting spirit this week.
No, I just got that sweatshirt I wanted to get. In all fairness, you did leave me unsupervised.
It's true. It's true. I did. All right. So you all have made this one was another good week for you all. I suppose that the word of mouth of the successful opening, and then like sort of the macabre fascination of the fireball and everything that happened sort of really drummed up business. So you all made another 103 gold this week. Very good week.
As the treasurer, I'll add that to our list. We have 183. 188.
All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so what potions did you want? We'll go through this quickly. It's not very interesting, but it is important, so let's do it. What did you need? Healing?
Healing.
So regular healing is 50 gold, greater healing, this is all from Fala's shop. They offer you these prices. 50 for regular, 250 for greater. Greater is 4d4 plus 4, regular is 2d2 plus 2 healing.
I think we're probably just getting the regular.
Was there anything else?
I would like to get a spell scroll of Tensor's floating disc, which I can't use, but might come in handy at some point.
Yes, definitely. That is
I think 50 gold.
I think actually it's going to cost you. Oh. Yes, correct. 50 gold for Tensor's floating disc.
And I will take 2 regular.
Okay.
2 regular for Annie as well.
Yeah.
I will
let you all. I trust you all to buy what you can afford, and I'm not going to worry too much about it. But yes, the Tensor's scroll will be 50 gold. Anything else? Delightful. All right. So Theron arrives after you all have done this and completed this. You get back to the fighting spirit. You're able to relax for a little while, and Theron arrives.
He just bursts through the door. Paper. I need paper. I need to write this down before I
Oh
forget.
yeah, no, I got you.
Okay. Words. Let's see. Okay. I hold up the stone. It talks to me. It tells me secrets. I need to get the secrets out. City of the Dead. There's a mausoleum. A name I don't recognize. Brandath.
I'll just start writing stuff down.
So in the mausoleum, there's a wall of rubble, but on the other side of it, there's double doors, and we have 3 keys. We have 3 keys that it tells me already that will open the doors. I don't know what any of that means, but they're all secrets.
Huh.
And beyond the doors, there's piles of gold.
Well, that's me.
but there's someone in there, and I can't really figure out who it is. The name Aranax comes to my mind, but I can't see it with the visions.
I'm sorry. I stopped listening when you said large amounts of gold.
There's a staff. Does the name Agaron mean anything to any of you?
Nope, I don't think so. Maybe.
Does it?
Something about dragon wards, and then it stopped talking to me, and I'm very cold.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get you something warm to drink, and maybe a blanket. Yeah, let's get you a blanket.
I'm just rubbing their arms.
Something's...
I'll take off. Are we inside? We're inside the spirits, right?
I burst in through the front door. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take my cloak and I'll wrap it around you and kind of like try to give you a blanket.
Oh, thank you. I lost track of time while I was attuning to it. It took an hour and it was cold, but I didn't feel any of that. We can't just be the only ones in possession of this. We need to tell the proper people.
Well, we've gone around and informed most of the proper people, although not the specifics that you just threw at us. But they're at least up to date on, the big picture stuff.
We should send Roadkill with this information to Vajra. And I'm willing to order a carriage for my mouse.
Damn straight you are!
I mean, that's only
That's
fair.
very reasonable.
While you all are discussing this, and I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't want to interrupt because it was great roleplay, but also because I think maybe it's reasonable that it would have taken this long for things, synapses to connect in Annie's brain. That name is familiar to you, Annie, and make me a, how are we going to do this? I would like for you to make me a intelligence, water deep knowledge check, and you get to make those with advantage. Or make this one with advantage because it has to do with the nobility in town, which I know is your favorite topic.
Know thy enemy.
12, even with advantage.
Okay, no, that's enough to recognize the name because it's definitely a name that you recognize. Brandath is a name that you know because Lady Brandath was the wife of the previous Open Lord of Waterdeep, Lord Dagult Neverember, making her Rainier Neverember's mother.
Oh.
Yeah, I think when that light bulb goes off, Annie's like, "Oh, Brandon, right.
Solid 5 minutes after he mentions that name.
Right, yeah, like she's just going on thinking of something else entirely, and then all of a sudden she's like, and like just kind of yells Neverember's mother.
What's going on? We were in a completely different conversation.
What?
We were talking about cider.
So
Yeah, I've got this lovely rhubarb.
Lady Brandeth was married to previous Open Lord of Waterdeep, which is Neverember's dad, so therefore Neverember's mother. So it sounds like we have to go to his mother's tomb.
Oh,
Probably needs to know about that.
that's morbid.
Little bit.
A little creepy.
To tell Neverember too.
Yeah, we probably definitely need to tell him. I feel like that's the sort of thing that you really want to know about ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's his mum, so maybe touchy.
Agreed.
I mean, it wouldn't be very polite to go ransacking his mother's tomb without at least his knowledge and permission.
We wouldn't want to ransack his mother's tomb without him.
Maybe he has a key and he'll just let us in anyways. I mean,
Well,
A party at his mom's tomb.
well, hey, if Roadkill is going to go tell the Blackstaff about this, maybe I can send Hasha to go tell Neverember.
Has he ever met Hasha?
No.
He's a bit
But
alarming
she'll
at
be
first
like,
glance.
she'll just be a creepy, disembodied voice that will know things.
okay, maybe he should see a familiar face. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but
Yeah, Rowan, I don't think the news about us possibly having something that has to do with his mother's grave should be coming from Hasha. As lovely and as wonderful as Hasha is. No offense, Hasha.
None taken.
But one of us should probably go.
I mean, Hasha can come with me, She wants.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
We haven't had enough time with just the two of us.
That's right. We have things to talk about.
Hasha, possibly think about a less harsh exterior?
Oh yes, she's currently a raven, so that should actually work out okay. Yeah,
that's
she's
nice.
it's just a raven that talks in a weird, creepy imp voice. Yeah.
In the meantime, we have a wizard who's after this stone too. Is there any safer place that we could get to?
Well, you're more than welcome to come to my family's shoe shop. It's extremely secure.
A shoe shop. Okay.
We don't belong to the Cobblers Guild, and they're not super big fans of that. So after they burnt down the first two, we built it like really nice. I'm sorry. Allegedly burnt down the first two.
Theron, it's more of a shoe shop.
So one thing.
What are you doing? What?
No, we really make shoes and stuff there, but we do other things. It's a multi-purpose sort of building.
So we need to get safe passage for Roadkill to deliver this important message, and then Roadkill, you'll just stay with the nice Lady Blackstaff, okay? You can live in that tower until we come get you, if she allows it. If not,
she'll allow it. Don't you worry about that. I'm a charmer. And he flicks his tail with the little stupid ribbon that he hates.
I wish I could understand Roadkill so much. Because I wanted to talk to him.
But...
Roadkill, you're so cute. I'm just going to scratch behind his ears.
He's like starts to object. Like, don't call me cute.
Yes, I know that's what
he doesn't like that. He hates that so much.
Hey, shut up, you.
Secondly, we need to find secrets to open this door. We need to know
What?
secrets.
What?
We need to find
Secrets?
out.
Who has a secret?
Well, I can think of one. And while I am still summer and extremely high on the
Honey,
impulses...
if you were any more obvious, my God.
What are you talking about, Phil?
You literally are the broadside of a barn right now.
So I turn to Reggie. Mm-hmm. I pull out my bow. My fingers start to glitter. Reggie, what's your name?
And he is so confused and just holds his hands up. And I don't remember the voice that Dan used, but he'll just say, "It's Reggie. I just felt like being mysterious."
Oh, Darren!
Inside.
Do we believe him?
We guessed your name? Like, wow.
It was on my application. I don't know why you're so surprised.
16 to believe it or not believe?
Yeah, he's far too terrified to...
Reggie, I'm so sorry for them. Have a drink on us. Okay? I'm so sorry. And I'll flick him a gold.
I'm just a bit on edge right now. There is a wizard with a metal arm coming to steal my stone.
Oh, it's your stone?
Mine, yes, it's my precious.
A lot of questions.
Well, I've got a secret.
Let's not talk about these now. We may have to say them at the door. If we see a big ear on the door, we have to say them into the ear.
Okay.
Oh, just the ear. Right, like nobody else has to know, right? Okay, that sounds great. I'm okay with this now.
I'd assume we have to tell it at the door to get it to open, so there's got to be some sort of mechanism there. Maybe a circle we stand in, maybe all join hands in a group hug of some sort, and then we all start spewing our secrets and our tears.
That sounds
but like,
really cathartic.
But like a whisper, so nobody else has to know, right?
I'm trying to figure out how a powwow has anything to do with gold.
Well, we have
We're
the
gonna
secrets.
sit around and sing Kumbaya.
Apparently, the secrets. The first is it's a secret kept that must become a secret told. The second is a secret unknown has to become a secret known, and the third key, unhidden, must become a secret forevermore.
Cryptic.
Okay. Well,
on that note, all right. So let's make some action items here. So what is the first thing that you're gonna do? Is that sending Roadkill out in the carriage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The carriage driver is clearly confused about this job, but you guys are in the castle ward, and he knows not to question the people of higher standing in society. So he just nods, tells you a price, which is probably a little exorbitant, but also you're asking him to, as far as now, are you showing him roadkill? Is he driving a mouse, or is he driving an empty carriage, as far as he's concerned?
I'd wrap roadkill up in a really nice, warm blanket. But not just transporting a mouse, transporting just a nicely wrapped blanket.
Transporting a blanket, great. So he's like, okay, cool, that'll be a gold.
2 to make sure the blanket gets there safely.
Even better. He's so confused.
Can I give Roadkill a kiss on the head before he leaves? I'm gonna give Roadkill a kiss on the head before he leaves.
Yeah, he sort of squirms. He's go back to the scratching. I don't like kisses.
He really loves the kisses.
You don't understand him.
He loves the kisses so much.
He just very slowly turns his head to Theron and says, "Sleep with one eye open."
I don't sleep. I'm an elf.
Damn it, let's go.
Hashtag Roadkill is life.
All right, so that gets sent off.
Next order of action, I believe, is sleep.
Annie and Hasha
go to get
tell Mark about the fact that we're going to desecrate his mom's grave.
Oh, to get Rainier. Right. Okay, so you're doing that tonight. Awesome. Okay, so you two can head off to find Neverember. And you do, in fact, find him. It's later in the day, but if I remember correctly, like it's not super late at this point. It's miserable out. This is not a fun trek, but you can get there. And he greets you and brings you inside and sort of asks you what brings you around. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's just peachy. I don't know.
Tells me that isn't true, Annabelle.
Yeah, you're probably right. I actually don't know how to tell you this without just beating around the bush here, but we got the stone of galore, found out that the treasure's in your mother's tomb, and we need to get inside.
He sort of, well, you certainly didn't beat around the bush, did you?
Yeah, I'm not in for that.
My mother's... What? You've got a new friend, I see.
This is Harsha. Harsha, this is Neverember.
Right. I've seen Stranger Things. I was an adventurer for a while. I don't know why I was shocked by that. Anyway, this is wait. So start at the beginning. You managed to find the stone.
Yes, after almost, getting murdered by a man with an artificial arm and killing Rocky, but not killing Rocky. That was really confusing.
I shouldn't have asked without... look, why don't you... I know that you don't necessarily trust me so much, but why don't we start from the beginning, and why don't you tell me everything? It feels like if you want me involved and it's going to involve my mother's family's tomb, perhaps maybe I should really know all the details. All
right, well, it all started...
Yes. Fade to... Right, what is that video game convention where, like, it Iris is in and then Iris is out, and it's like 2 hours later, right? And he just looks totally flabbergasted.
So your mother's tomb.
And he says, well, honestly, it's disgusting, but it really doesn't surprise me all that much that my father would stoop so low as to use my mother's ancestral tomb to hide his embezzled monies. He says, yes, of course I will help you. Please tell me you don't want to go out tonight in this. And he sort of indicates the horrible weather outside.
No, I think we're going to sleep on it. However, time is of the essence, so I think tomorrow it's gone.
Says, yes, absolutely. He says, I'll meet you 1 bell after dawn at the gates of the City of the Dead, and we can proceed.
Sounds good.
He says, I know that you and I haven't always seen eye to eye about things, but I very much appreciate you coming to me with this, Annabelle. And I also thank you. I can't stand the thought that my father would have used my mother's family's resting place for such a purpose, and I'm honored to be a part of your mission to make things right.
Let's just say that makes 2 of us.
He nods and says, well then, till tomorrow.
All right. See you then. Let's go, Harsha.
All right.
He flinches and then goes, I knew there was something about that bird.
She giggles a little bit on the way out.
Okay, excellent. Anything? Next action item.
Is it Heavenly Soul?
Shoe store.
Heavenly Soul.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going shoe shopping.
Right. So you're all going to the Heavenly Soul to spend the night there?
I think so.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So you go and you are, warmly welcomed by the various members of the Toscobble Porridge Pot family that are there. They, of course, are more than happy to house you. There's space and there's security. They also, I feel like, probably don't ask a ton of questions.
No. That's,
They know.
basically
They
just
get
how
it.
is.
They're
yeah,
like,
totally.
Yep, they get it. Now, Rowan, how
Yes.
big is this shop? Plenty of room for you, of course, but give me an idea.
Sure. Well, there's 2 main floors, and then there's a hidden basement.
Okay.
So we're probably staying on the top floor, which is the living quarters,
Sure.
and then the shop floor is the middle. It's about 50 by 70.
Okay.
That's way bigger than what it
I was
is.
gonna say that's very,
But
big,
it's a
okay.
fairly large shop.
Okay.
Very big. No. I'm getting it wrong.
Okay. All right. So you all head up to the top floor where the living quarters are. You sort of settle down into the various chambers that they provide you all with, and you begin to try to take your rest for the night. And each one of you, well, most of you, just toss and turn, and you hear whispers and you have dreams and you can't get comfortable, and the minute you start to drift off, you feel almost like you're drowning, like your lungs are filling up with water or some sort of goo, and it jerks you awake. And Rowan and Syl and Annie and Rocky, you just cannot get to sleep.
I think at the feeling of drowning, Annie wakes up yelling, and then finally realizes, I can't get to sleep, and she goes and looks for Rocky.
Okay.
Does she find Rocky?
Well, I was gonna say yes, but I don't know. He's making a face.
I would assume you'd probably go to what you'd think would be Rocky's quarters.
Oh, that's why we're laughing about this.
And he's not
Got it.
there. And so perhaps you'd go and look at Syl's quarters.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, boy.
And the door opens to Goliath in a blue floral robe.
I feel like Annie's being Syl, have you seen what? Rocky, but I just checked, and this is Syl's room. Did you know that?
It's very early, and
So
I
walks
have
out
not
with a
gotten
sheet.
any
Hey, who
sleep.
would- Oh shit.
What? Are you and her? Wow, I didn't know. When did this happen?
Oh, you missed the whole. That's right.
Several years ago.
This is so awkward, and I love it so much.
Several years, but I've known Syl for 5. I mean,
It wasn't something you were ever interested in knowing. And so I never told you, and then it wasn't, and then we weren't.
I mean, you love everybody though, you know. So
yeah, but he's my Rocky.
Well, this is awkward.
Yes, it is.
What's wrong,
makes
Annie?
3 of us.
Well, I couldn't get to sleep when I was needing to punch something, and I thought I could punch Rocky.
Is that a euphemism? I'm sorry.
No, Annie doesn't get any of that, so she's just like, no, I literally need to punch something, and I didn't want to punch Rowan's nice. I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't know. Rocky, do you still have energy?
Yeah, that's not the problem.
Fired.
All right, so he just kind of looks back at Syl and kind of shrugs as well. wasn't able to fall asleep anyway.
Oh, you having dreams too? Wait, no, it's probably okay.
No. Nope. We're not.
Nope.
Nope. We're not having this conversation.
Hey, everybody. I couldn't sleep. I'm going
Whoa!
to make...
Where did you
everybody
come
doing?
from? Well,
I'm
did you
very
know
small.
about this, Rowan? Did you know
Oh,
about
yeah.
this?
No, that's
Oh my
fantastic.
gosh. Does
Hey,
Theron
I'm
know?
so happy for you, too.
Does Theron know?
Thanks,
I don't know.
Excuse me,
brother.
I'm about 3 hours into my meditation. I still need to
Sure.
rest. I was having
Let's
such
just
lovely
have
dreams.
everybody come in.
Just-
That's fine. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Theron,
You wanna have a
you were
talk?
fine.
I'm just on my way to the kitchen. Bye.
Rocky, your robe's open. I'm going back to meditate.
Rowan, are you having trouble sleeping?
Yeah. So I just figured I'd make some tea.
That
It's
seems
probably
to be-
just nerves.
I haven't tried yet, but I wonder if I would have
Oh my
difficulty
God.
sleeping.
I think at this point,
Uh-huh.
Rocky, despite being pretty stalwart, is getting quite embarrassed at the moment.
Cool, yes.
And he's going to sort of just push his way on past everybody and go off to wherever Annie wants to spar, I guess.
Yep. Did you want to change it? Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna fight the robe?
I mean, he's a monk. What does he normally fight in?
Yeah, it's not so different.
More than one of my silk robes?
Yeah, so he kind of walks out, and then you guys mention the robe, and he goes, "Oh, I guess that's a good point." And he walks back in,
And then comes out wearing a different robe.
right. A more subtle floral pattern,
Good. Yes.
something befitting the moment, you know.
So
Right.
I'll yell back to Rocky, be like, you get dressed. I have like a sheet wrapped around me, and I go, Ani, why don't you and I take a walk downstairs?
What? No.
Nope, we're gonna do
No.
it. We're gonna do it. Come on.
Well, I need to.
Nope, we're gonna go.
What are
Rocky, meet us
So-
downstairs.
This hilarious awkwardness continues for quite some time. Annie and Rocky, you can spar. Rowan, you can have tea. All of this happens. Eventually, presumably, you all try to go to bed again. And again, you just can't. There is no sleeping. And yes, eventually, Syl, you have to try to sleep. And it's the same thing. You're uncomfortable. You feel if you do start to drift off, you have these awful dreams of your lungs filling with this goop. You hear whispers. You just can't get to sleep.
Can I make any sort of check to try to figure out?
Yeah, why don't you make me? Oh
It
God,
sounds kind of cursy, and
so
At this point, Theron
family
would
does
finish-
stuff like that.
At this point, Theron
Why
would have
don't
finished
you-
their meditation and be walking around just gently doing some light activity and looking fully rested and fine.
yeah. Why
Damn,
don't you do this? I'll take either. It's not really either of these, but I'll take either intelligence investigation or wisdom insight, whatever is better for you, Rowan.
Which do you think?
Right. Oh, right. I said which means
I'll
not
get
that
a-
one.
I'll get a 14.
You don't really know what it is, but you know that seeing Theron wandering around, like looking totally refreshed, sort of begins to connect some dots, and it has something to do with Theron in some way. As you sort of like lie there, like trying, because you're curious, as you start sort of like lie there trying to pinpoint where like the whispers are coming from. You sort of poke your head out and you see Theron like walk by your room, and the whispers sort of seem to follow them.
Hey, Theron, could you here? You stand right there. Let me walk around you just a second. I just want to. Okay.
The Doppler effect. Of
Hey.
whispers.
Okay. I
I've
think
got the stone clenched to my chest.
Yeah.
I think your rock is keeping us from being able to get to sleep. Like it's giving us bad dreams. Like I feel like I'm drowning. It's really creepy.
You hear yell. It's from Annie.
I look at the stone. Are you doing this? Is this something you're doing?
It sends you a sort of mental shrug.
Well, I don't really know what to do. I'm in the middle of my change, and you can see their golden hair is starting to turn brown with pink streaks again. Very familiar sight.
Oh, sure. Well, maybe if you could just go for a walk for a little while, and maybe we can just get some sleep. I mean, we got a really big day ahead of us, and just getting, like a couple hours nap would probably make a big difference.
Do I hear anything about this?
I mean, you can make a perception check.
Oh, All right, first roll, guys. Ooh,
Two
a
dice.
19.
Yeah, you hear them talking.
Sweet. I peek my head out. What's going on?
Oh, the stone is giving us bad dreams, or at least me. So I don't know. If we could get some distance from it, that might help. I don't know.
Well, we
So
can't send Theron outside. It's too cold.
I could get a carriage to the fighting spirit if this is my fault. I can just finish up my rest and go hang out with a ghost.
It's not your fault. It's just an unfortunate situation. And I'm not upset with you. I'm just upset at the situation.
Question, Eugenio.
Ah.
The fighting spirits.
Ah.
Still's bedroom, is it, because it's up in the tower, is it 300 feet away from Theron's bedroom?
That's a very specific question, isn't it?
Is it far enough away from Theron's bedroom that I might think that we could stay in the fighting spirits?
300 feet is like 10 stories. No, that's not true. That's like 3 stories.
It's 3 stories.
Wait, no, that's still wrong.
Yeah, 10 feet from floor to ceiling. No, that's way
Right,
wrong.
so it's
30.
30 stories. 30 stories because
Wow.
So no.
No. Okay.
Thank you.
I could just pay a carriage to ride me around the town for the next 4 hours while you all get some rest. I'm awake. I don't sleep. I just meditate for 4 hours. So,
if you don't mind giving the stone up, Hasha can make it invisible and just fly around with it. She doesn't care about the cold.
Oh, you just asked him for his precious.
It's mine. It's
My own.
Well, sure, and she'll give it right back. I mean, we're all going to the same place in the morning.
You see the hands start to reach for the bow.
Oh.
No,
No, we're not. No, T, we're not asking you for that. It's okay. You're right.
Okay, how about she just goes with you? You guys can just stay together.
There you go.
And she'll just watch after you and make sure everything's okay. I really need to get some sleep.
Understand. I'll see if the carriage is riding around at this hour. I'll go back and meet you at the Fighting Spirits, and then we'll go to the City of the Dead from there. I think it's only about a half-hour walk.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you. Night.
Please be safe.
Great. So I love this solution. Another poor carriage driver is going to think that y'all are bazonkers. It is also the middle of the night, so it's going to be expensive. So 4 hours of wandering around will come to 8 gold.
I can do that.
Really gouging you.
Theron has no concept of riches.
Sure.
So
That was just a bit of fun. You all can have your long rest.
Yay!
Well, probably, it was a long day, and you could have, headed over to the shoe shop earlier in the evening, noticed it, and still had 8 hours, and be up in time for first bell past dawn. I'm not going to worry too much about that.
Okay.
It was a fun little thing.
Creepy.
I thought it was fun. Anyway.
It's
all right.
obvious the worst.
So, you all get up the next day. Theron, you have the carriage bring you back round to the shoe shop first thing in the morning at about dawn, so that you have 1 bell to get everybody together, to get ready, and to head over to the City of the Dead, yes?
Thank you, Francis. They'll be okay from here. Have a good morning, I suppose. Go get some rest. And by this time, skin is brown, hair is brown with pink streaks in it, and more of female Theron.
Is this summer?
You look delightful.
This is my spring form.
This is a vast improvement.
All right.
Oh God, Hush.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they had a wonderful night together.
Yes, they did.
Not as good as Rocky and Sil, am I right?
A lot of bonding.
All right. So you all head over to the City of the Dead, and as promised, Rainier is there and waiting for you outside the main gates. He's able to take you directly. He obviously knows exactly where the Brandath family mausoleum is. He's able to take you all to to take you all right there, and you can see this whole city of the dead. It's sort of the city graveyard, and it's the blizzard has eased up a bit. It's still frigidly cold, but the wind is blowing less. The snow is not really coming down anymore, and it's just there is a quiet, macabre beauty to this city of the dead, with these sort of rolling hills and tombstones and sculptures and monuments just covered in snow, and the light of the newly risen sun is just glinting off of. It's actually, if you look at it at the right angle, it's almost painful to look at because it is so bright with the sun reflecting off of this sort of pristine snow at this point. You can tell that the gates have just opened. No one is allowed. You know, you all have been in Waterdeep long enough. You know that no one is allowed in the city of the dead after dark. So you head down winding paths. It's a little bit slow going because no one has sort of cleared any of the paths at this point from last night's snow. But you make it to, excuse me, you make it to a mausoleum that, Theron, you have seen before, but is surprisingly run down for it being, for it belonging to a family of the wife of an open lord. Rainier is obviously has a lot of emotions running through him as he approaches. There are large elm and birch trees growing all around the structure, which of course are all completely free of leaves and covered in snow, and sort of seem to loom over the path leading up to the mausoleum itself, sheltering the path a bit with their leafless boughs. But as you head towards the mausoleum, the trees sort of seem to get bigger and bigger and older, and there is a single tree just to the left of the path that leads to the mausoleum entrance, that is right outside the door. And as you approach, the tree branches, it looks like they're maybe falling and breaking under the weight of the snow, but then you realize that they're not breaking, they're just moving slowly downward to cover the entrance to this mausoleum as you approach. And you hear a voice coming from the tree say, "Only those of Brandath blood are welcome here. Begone."
Oh, wow.
We have never entered.
Rocky.
Are we going to have to swap
So-
blood with Rainier then?
I don't know. Maybe you can just ask the tree really nicely, Rainier, to let us inside?
He sort of nods and sort of mutters mostly to himself, but you all hear him, "I really should visit this place more often."
Yeah, it looks really bad.
Yeah. He walks forward and addresses the tree and says, "I am of Brandath blood, and these are my companions and friends. You will allow us to pass." And he clearly is giving a command, but is not totally sure if it's going to work. But there's sort of nothing happens for a moment, and then the tree raises its limbs and opens the passageway in, and you hear in a much quieter voice that is probably meant only for Rainier, but it's a treant, so it's sort of hard to not hear. He's kind of loud, but in a much sort of gentler voice, he sort of lowers one bow towards Rainier's shoulder and places it on his shoulder and says, "Your mother was a lovely person."
Feels.
Wouldn't be an episode of us without it.
Nope.
So Rainier sort of takes a moment and places a hand on the branch on his shoulder, and then takes a deep breath and nods, says thank you, and sort of turns back to Theron and says, "Well, I was told that you were the one who knows the path. What's next?"
But do you know of anything that, other than Treebeard here, that wards the place? Are there any traps beyond? Have you been in here recently?
He says, "Honestly, my mother's death was a difficult time for me, and I haven't visited the mausoleum since before her passing, when she and I would come to visit. I couldn't say, that was decades ago, I couldn't say what protections there might be. Were you not shown any in your visions?"
I kind of hovered the way. I was just a disembodied eyeball as far as I could tell. Would your tree friend know of anything that we need to watch out for?
I could certainly ask. And he does. And unfortunately, the tree doesn't. He only knows that he was meant to keep people from entering, but he knows nothing of what is inside. Rainier does say, I most families of the stature of my mother's do tend to protect their resting places in various ways, though it has been quite some time since a Brandath was laid to rest here, so I can't say if there's anything remaining, but we would probably do well to remain alert at the very least.
Syl, would you be able to find anything along the path?
Well, I can certainly try.
All right.
Wait, are we sending her in again in front of all of us?
Oh,
You're welcome to go with her if you
Still
want
made
to.
wonderful.
Like, Annie pulls back because before she was staring off in a completely different other direction in the City of the Dead, but when she hears that, she all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm sorry, what?
and
We can
I will gently place my hand on her arm and go, one of these days, you're going to have to trust me.
We can
Yeah,
send
so
Hasha.
far, it's
Yeah,
almost
Hasha,
led to
come
your
on.
death.
Yeah, well, my gut wasn't wrong the last time. I'll get you into trouble, but darling, I'll always get you out of it. And I'll turn around and I'll walk in.
So Syl and Hasha head to the entrance. Basically, right immediately inside the entrance is there's a small sort of chamber area that then leads to a set of stairs that go down into the burial areas. And everything inside, clearly nobody has been in here for quite some time. The doors were closed and had a decent seal on them. And the floor inside and all on the steps leading down is all just covered in a thick layer of dust. To the point where you're not really sure if the floor is stone or tile or, I mean, it's, clearly not packed dirt. But beyond that, you can barely see the actual surface of the floor at all.
Okay.
So you step inside and nothing eats you or blows up or poisons you at this point. There's not much on this level. Clearly, the next step is to head down the stairs.
Right. We're clear so far. And then I'll go and inspect the stairs.
Sure. The stairs themselves?
Yeah, I know that keeping an eye out for traps is perception, and looking for specific traps is investigation.
Yeah, that's fine. We can use investigation. The issue right now is if you're looking at the stairs themselves, you sort of have the interesting problem, and you would know this as a rogue who has gone after traps before. You'll be able to sort of spot anything that is adjacent to the stairs.
Right.
But with the stairs covered with this much dust, if there is, a hidden pressure plate or some sort of a glyph or anything like that on the stairs themselves, you're going to have a hard time seeing them.
Can I use thaumaturgy from a distance to try and kick up the dust so that I can see better?
I like that. Tell me more about how you're going to make that happen, because it's not thaumaturgy isn't gust of wind, right? But I'm
Right.
how you want to make this work. I like it. Tell me more.
So I would, let's see, with thaumaturgy, it's I can make things vibrate.
True.
Flame flicker, harmless tremors. You can see.
Yeah, you've got
So I
the
would
voice
say-
booming. I'm not sure about that. Flames
No,
flickering and stuff.
I think causing like the tremor
Uh-huh.
to kind of just move things kind of away.
I
Like,
like
if you-
it.
Yeah, so that when you notice it at the epicenter, it just starts to move outwards.
Great.
Just to
I like
kind of
that.
clear our path to make sure there's nothing there.
So make me to see how well this goes and how focused you're able to make these tremors. Make me now your thaumaturgy is because of your tiefling heritage, right?
Correct.
Which means that I believe the spellcasting ability for that spell is charisma, correct? Anyone, I believe?
Yes, it should be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so go ahead
I
and
would
make
say
me...
it doesn't have anything on there.
That's okay. Go ahead and make me a charisma check then, just a flat charisma check.
I'm gonna use my.
We'll call it DC 15 to do this.
Can Hasha infernally support her, since she's an actual devil?
Yes, I like that. Yes, you can have advantage on the check.
That was one better than it was.
Okay, what'd you get?
So I'm adding my charisma modifier.
Yes, correct.
It's not great.
Okay, how not great?
It's 9.
Okay, all right. So it does clear a little bit. You can see a little bit better, but you're just the focused energy that is required to use thaumaturgy in that way is something you just haven't done before. So you cleared a little bit. Go ahead and make me an intelligence investigation check on the stairs, and let's see what you see.
With advantage.
Yes, also with advantage. Hasha's still helping you out.
That's not any better.
Bring to the dice jail.
10.
Okay. You
starts out
scrape
on the
around.
side.
The trick is, you understand how these things work. You don't want to like touch the dust to move it away. So you're sort of looking, and you think you get a decent look. You don't see anything on the stairs.
I hold up my wire.
I do have mage hand.
Okay.
Sil, what's going on in there?
I'm working on it.
You don't see anything. You don't notice anything.
Everything looks clear. God, I'm gonna kill everybody. This
All right. Well, dear darling, if you'd like, I'm more than happy to go first. I'm, unkillable.
That's fair.
It's a nice ace up your sleeve.
All right. So
So Hasha will, just kind of go first.
okay. Is she flying down?
No, she'll turn into herself and just kind of walk down.
Just hop down.
Just go-
Okay.
Yep.
Still, what are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing while she hops down?
I'm watching.
From where?
I would imagine from like so we walked in
Mm-hmm.
and there's the stairs. And I figured I'd be in the
There's
center.
like 10 feet of. Okay, great. Where are the rest of you?
I'm outside talking with the tree.
Great.
I'm
Absolutely
outside
talking back. He's a little
communicating
grumpy
with
because it's winter, but he'll talk back a little.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Would you like to be a little bit warmer? Maybe I can get some of the snow off your leaf.
He's like, please don't set me on fire.
Oh no, of course not.
What about the rest of you?
I'm in White Christmas.
Okay. Great.
And I'll kind of position myself so that I can try to see in and see what's going on, but
Okay.
obviously like around the bend or whatever.
Great. Okay. Annie?
Yeah, she's staring off into that certain spot again, somewhere in the city of the dead. But then when Syl says, "I think we're okay," she's going to start walking down the stairs.
Okay, so you come in and Hasha's sort of heading down the stairs, and Annie's right behind her. So I need Annie and Syl and Hasha to make dexterity saving throws.
Of course.
15.
15 is a success. Syl,
No.
that face doesn't look great.
You don't
I
look
bought
good, so.
3
New
new sets of dice, and I cannot, for the life of me, roll any better than.
Okay, so Syl failed. Hasha,
12. So fail.
12 is okay, but not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hasha hops down to the very first step and triggers a glyph of hoarding.
And still dies.
And
Oh.
Syl and Hasha.
Oh,
will
wait.
take
This was magic?
This was magic.
I get advantage on those
You
saves.
do get advantage, that's right.
And so I save.
Okay, so you'll take half of this, which okay. It's also fire damage. Since
Oh, then I'm immune to it.
Oh, immune. So you're fine. Hasha's fine. Syl, you
resistant.
take 22 fire damage, and Annie, you take 11.
Aren't I resistant for my infernal?
You are, so you take 11.
Thank Jeebus, because that would have automatically put me at 5.
And Annie, you throw yourself back at the last moment and like prone on the floor so that you avoid the worst of the blast. Hasha, however, is
And
completely untouched and probably turns around and smiles.
I told you to stay back. The whole point of me going first is that I was going to be fine.
You said it was okay, Syl.
It looked fine to me, Annie. Oh.
All right, so that out of the way, Hasha's able to get to the bottom of the stairs without triggering any other traps. So you all can.
All right.
Yeah, I yell back to everyone and say, "It's okay now. Don't mind the singed half-orc smell."
Never do.
Do you
Oh,
need some healing now? Should Rowan and I take care of this for you?
I'm all right for now.
are you sure?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
All right. All right, so you all head down. Theron, this is now familiar to you as well. You go down, you see exactly as you saw in your vision that rubble-strewn wall that you passed through as your disembodied self sort of floated through this area.
All right, we need some rock crushers. Big man, Annie, can you be our helpers here? I think we need to clear some of this rubble. What we need is on the other side of it.
Oh,
Ooh. Clear rubble, you say? And I look at Rocky.
Fantastic. So the two of you go over and you're ready to start clearing rubble. I need you both to make acrobatics checks for me, please.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's a natural one.
Oh,
Oh
good.
God!
Didn't do much better on that when I got a 2.
Okay, so both Annie and Rocky just like throw themselves at this rubble to pick it up, and they both fall flat on their faces, half in and half out of this rubble wall. And the two of you, now that you've interacted with it, realize that this wall is in fact an illusion and not really there at all. The three of you who are not trying to pick up illusionary boulders just see their bodies half in and half out of this ball of rubble.
This is a tomb of horrors.
Rocky, you alright?
Yeah, we'll run up.
Rainier sort of Rainier is fascinated and also thinks it's kind of funny, y'all's reaction, and also is a little bit upset because again, like more evidence of desecration of his family's mausoleum by his asshole father. But yes, you all can continue on past this.
That's so neat. How'd they get it to last that long?
Yeah, right. Okay. So beyond there, now, if I'm not mistaken, this was sort of where you stopped seeing things and things went dark, and then you got your vision back in the room with all the gold, right, Theron?
I thought there was going to be a door on this side. There's more. I didn't see this part. I everything went black for a minute. Darkness.
Correct.
Maybe another trap.
So what you actually see at the moment is just a long 20-foot high, 20-foot wide stone corridor that goes about 30 or 40 feet and ends in this enormous set of double doors, metallic double doors. There are enough of you who work with metal and craft things in one way or another that you would immediately recognize the metal as adamantine. Very fancy, and they're covered in runes. Do any of you speak Dwarvish? No. Cool. Well, they're covered in runes then.
Those look like runes.
You could probably identify them as Dethic runes, as runes of the Dwarven language. You just can't, because I mean,
If only
that's
we
not
had someone who
Well, I
can
can-
comprehend languages.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll take me a little bit of time, but I can start casting a spell that'll let me read that stuff. Seems like it'd be worthwhile.
Sure.
How
Yeah,
long
it
will it
seems
take
worthwhile.
you? Because I have a trick
Uh,
I thought
About 10
about
minutes.
last time.
Well, I could do it really quick, but if we're not in a hurry, it'd be a lot easier on me to just go ahead and take a little bit of time.
Oh no, this
How
is
long does it
actually
take?
really good too.
Okay, well, do you.
I go about setting up an alarm spell in the entrance to this large room.
Okay, great.
So-
I love that.
So if anything passes through it behind us, because
Okay.
as far as we know, that's the only entrance, I'll get a ping
Right.
in my ear, but it'll be
Absolutely.
non-audible.
Okay, so while you do that, is Rowan casting?
Yes,
Arcana Ritual? Okay.
Ritually cast comprehend languages.
So between the two of you, it takes 10 minutes, but you're able to cast your various spells. Rowan,
Yes,
once you have cast the spell, I think you have to touch it, right? You have to
Yes,
touch the runes to
I do.
understand them.
I do, in fact.
All right, so you touch the runes, and they read the 3 keys, bring them forth. And as you get closer and read them, you can see that there are 3 palm-shaped, medium-sized palm-shaped indentations in the doors underneath those words.
Okay, I will repeat that to everyone and say, I think we're supposed to put our hands here and then I guess speak the secrets? I don't know.
Rocky just looks at his hand and then looks at the engravings. He's like, I don't know if that's gonna work.
That's
Well,
true.
I think I'm one of
Okay.
them.
Okay, so, well, I mean, I guess it's not really my secret. It's more Auntie Hash's secret. And Auntie Hash is like, I don't think this is a very good idea, Rowan. This is a really bad time for this. Auntie Hasha, please do this. It's really important. Okay.
I'm trying to... Do I know this? I do know
Yes,
this.
yes, you do.
Okay, great.
It's,
I think I know what you're referring to.
it's about Rocky, if that helps at
Oh,
all.
yes. Okay, I do know this. Theron, would you do
I
us
know
the
this?
favor of just reciting one more time the 3 keys?
The first key, a secret kept, must become a secret told. The second key, secret unknown, must become a secret known. A third key, unhidden, that must become a secret forevermore.
All right. So, Rowan and Hasha are doing a thing. The intent is for the first key, yes?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what Hasha does.
Hasha will, hop over to the door and put her tiny little hand in one of the hands.
She tries, and then she flutter up to it. She puts her hand in it. Okay, and it begins to glow softly underneath her tiny little imp hand.
She'll kind of... I killed Railgar's father for being a traitor. He sold us out to the Cobblers Guild and didn't even have... He didn't even negotiate. He just started throwing secrets out and just took the first price that was offered to him.
And
you're honestly far better off.
About halfway through that, she might have a hand coming around her throat.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Everyone's like, Rocky, I'm sorry, she said that really, really poorly. Try to calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more, Rocky.
He's at a loss.
Yeah.
I want to say that he's saying something like, you better, you got 3 seconds to say something, but I'm not convinced he'd do that.
I'm not either. Okay.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him get a little bit more unhinged step by step through this, and it's coming to a head right now. So, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think Annie tries to
I told you this
pull
was
Rocky off.
a bad idea.
Go ahead and are you wanting to hurt Hasha now, Rocky?
I mean, he's trying to. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an unarmed strike. We'll call it that.
Sure. 17.
Yes.
I assume that hits.
Okay. That's for 5 damage, and yeah, I mean, if he's
okay, so at the moment, we'll say at this point, you're really crushing that windpipe, and it's.
Somei will go up and get. I assume he's holding her up, and so she'll put both of her hands on his chest.
Okay.
And go, this isn't right. What she did was incredibly wrong, but what you're doing is no better. We can talk about this later, but right now is not the time. Please, Rocky, stop.
It's a little better.
I know what it is to lose your parents. I know what it is. But this isn't the way to solve that. We need to get through this. You have to stop.
Look, I should have told you so many years ago, and I didn't because the family thought that it would be best. I'm really sorry.
You're not going to make anything better.
Yeah, I mean, if Rowan gets within hitting distance, a back fist might be coming his way.
Whoop.
Yeah.
All right, is that fair?
So I'm trying to just pull his focus to Somei.
Okay.
I mean, that's a 24 to hit on
if Rowan's Rowan, are you getting close, or because also you do see what's happening here.
Oh yeah. No, Rowan probably does get close, and yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so 24 to hit, 5 damage with just a back fist slap coming down, basically knocking you away. This. Why? How? How? He's been gone for 20 years.
He tried to make a deal with the Cobblers Guild. He went to them and he was going to betray us, and nobody knew about it. Hasha just overheard it, and she made a terrible decision on her own. But we all decided that it would be best for you and your family if you thought that he died doing something good, that he was a good person who wasn't just trying to get money and sell us all out. And I've been wanting to tell you for a really long time.
What did you do to him to make him do that? He was a good person.
I don't know what his reasons are. I don't know why he did it, but he did it. She can't lie. She has to tell us the truth.
Why is that what? Can't lie?
She cannot lie to us if we command her to tell the truth. That's how we knew about it in the first place. And if I tell her to just let you kill her right now, she has to let you do it. It's the only control we. She's a devil. Like, do you think that this would work at all? I'm really, really sorry.
You know what? Make her let me.
Hasha, let him kill you. And her tail will just go limp.
Yep.
Right. No, I'll do it until. Sorry, go ahead, Theron.
No, we need her, Rocky.
Good luck.
I was gonna say.
If somebody's not getting to him, nobody's getting to him.
I'm squeezing like until I see like the eyes start to roll back and the tail start to go limp, and then I'll stop.
Okay.
Like I needed to know that she would do it.
Okay. Oh, sure, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You want to do some more damage to her?
I mean, it's I don't know, metaphorical. What do you think, Eugenio? This is your call.
Let's set her at 1 because I think you are. Yeah, let's set her at 1.
Yeah, she's resistant to bludgeoning damage. So it probably takes like a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and as you let her go, when that happens, she's able to sort of put your hand had sort of come out of alignment with the thing. She's able to put her hand back into the indentation, and it's probably for the best that you didn't kill her because she is able to put it back up there and hold it there for a moment now that the secret is out. And you all hear in your minds, and you get the sense that you can, I don't know, hear this outside of this mausoleum. You have a feeling that everyone is hearing this.
Oh.
Everyone is hearing Hasha's secret.
Oh, shoot! That is so messed up!
Now, out of context, most people are probably going to be super fucking confused. Confused.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you also now know that this has repercussions beyond the 5 of you.
Yeah.
Because now everyone has heard it.
Well, that sucks.
But she's able to move her hand. The indentation continues glowing, and it begins to rotate. And it rotates 360 degrees, and then sort of clicks into being a little more inset into the door.
All right.
And Rocky's just gonna say like, "We're not okay," and then he's gonna walk back towards the entryway.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, well, that was 1 down.
So,
shit.
I'm assuming that I'm the next one because something Vajra said when we first met her that I didn't even know something about being special or having something that I wasn't even aware of. So if there's a secret unknown that needs to become a secret known, it stands to reason that it would be me. I have a secret, and I put my hand. I am not a cleric of Ilmater. I took the fast lane, and I took a deal with some being that offered me wealth to give to the lady I love. But I had to come here, and this was presented to me. But you don't talk to me very much, and I'm starting to get suspicious about who are you?
And you hear a voice, Theron, that you've heard a few times, not since you've been to Waterdeep, but it is the voice that you made the deal with to begin with. And the voice says, "Who do you think I am?"
I've never been really much for the gods. The only reason I loved my lady was because she is a cleric of Sunni. But you are not of the goddess, are you?
A beautiful and insubstantial celestial being sort of shimmers into place in front of the door next to you, Theron, and it is a figure that you recognize. It's a beautiful female-formed angel, and she smiles and says, "It would stand to reason that a servant of Soon brought you closer to my lady so that you could be closer to yours." And her brightness begins to fade, and shadows begin to encroach upon her form, and the room gets dark, and she is completely wrapped in shadows until all you can see is her shape. And over her face, where her face was, begins to form a pristine white mask. And she says, "I am the Phantom of the Opera." No, she says, she says, "But things," in a much sort of deeper voice, she says, "But things are not quite that simple. And some gods, thought long dead, have returned and need servants. You will serve Mask well, little one." And she disappears, and again, you all know that this truth, and again, most people aren't going to know what the hell that means.
Yeah, that's really...
Truth is now known to all.
It's creepy AF.
And the mask in my hand changes.
Yes.
Well, if that's what it takes.
Okay.
I just hope it was enough.
Keeps their hand there for a moment. It continues to glow brighter and then does the same thing. It rotates and clicks into the door.
So, who has a secret that has to become a secret that nobody knows? The last one is vexing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little unclear.
Annie,
The last one doesn't make any sense.
Annie, that necklace of yours, that outside of... you have a necklace that the guards looked a little suspicious of. Is there something?
It's just I have an eye condition.
That makes no sense.
It's not a lie, so you don't need to make a deception.
Yeah, it feels like that's utter shit.
So how do we make how do we make something that's known a secret? Annie?
You kill it.
Rocky?
Yeah, you kill everyone who knows.
I mean, that's really the way to do it.
Right, Hasha.
You
You're
hear from
right.
down the hallway, well, Hasha might know.
Boop. Not wrong.
Actually, I do, she says back and kind of gives Annie the stink eye. Look, I already took one for the team. I'm going to be rather perturbed if you don't step up to the door.
Yeah, we talked about this, how it's not a good idea for people to know, Hasha.
Yes, none of this was a good idea, and yet here we are.
Okay, while those two are arguing, Phil, what are you doing?
I was standing with Rocky.
Great, okay. And you two are still by the entranceway. Great. Theron, you've stepped back at this point, I assume, from the door and are sort of... you have your own thoughts, which is fine. Rowan, what are you doing while these two argue?
Rowan is staying close to the door and kind of giving Annie a weird look and then kind of wistfully looking over towards Rocky. Really wants to go talk to him and knows it was a horrible idea.
Okay. All right. So these two continue arguing, Annie and Hasha.
They could die if everybody figures this out. Apparently there's a flippin' door that just says the secret to everybody in the entire world, and then we could all die.
Or, hear me out on this, we open the door and suddenly you're the richest person in Waterdeep, barring the rest of these people. And what do you do with all that money? Crush your enemies.
You buy silence.
It's not silence I need to buy, Seal. I need to buy death.
Yes.
She's expensive.
Death really isn't that expensive.
Are we sure it's Rocky, Seal, nothing?
I'm an open book.
That's
accurate.
I don't even have anything to say about that.
And certainly I don't have secrets of this magnitude.
We are not smart enough for this.
No, we're not. We're the Fields crew.
You guys
and
are doing great.
Aha! Oh, my throat, it hurts so much.
Okay.
Hasha, it's about to hurt a little bit more.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
We're gonna cut to the chase. Not that Annie, you have to do it, but I want to cut to the chase of is Annie going to do it? No is fine if that's what she would do. Let's just
Cut to the chase. Make the
cut to
decision.
that point, right? Yeah.
Fisher cut
Okay.
bait.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think only because of what Hasha said
Uh huh.
with the gold and maybe being able to use that gold then to crush
Sure.
her enemies.
Sure.
But it takes some deliberation, so she goes over with a yell
Okay.
and slams her hand into the wall
Great.
and also digs out her necklace underneath it,
Great.
yanks it off,
Great.
and says,
And as she takes a breath, to
Mhm.
speak,
Go ahead.
she hears a voice in her head.
"Oh,
And the voice says, "Will you give this to the shadows so that none may ever know it again?" And you see all of your memories of what really happened to your, to your adopted grandfather. The truth about what happened there flashes before your eyes, and the voice says, "None will ever know. Do you accept?"
oh boy."
Oh man!
Should have written it down.
She yells, and she starts punching the wall.
Mm-hmm. It hurts.
Yeah, oh yeah. Willing to take damage if that's what you see fit, because she's going to punch until her hands are bloodied.
Yeah, we'll take a couple of points, but we'll deal with that in a moment.
Yep. And then I think she, oh gosh, yeah, so emotional, so many feelings. So she finally breaks down and like sinks to her knees, bloody handprint on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and is crying, which is probably unusual for everybody to see.
It's real weird.
She's sobbing,
Yep.
and she says, "I just wanted to do right by you. I just wanted to make you proud. Why can't it work? Fine. Take it."
And the handprint flashes. And Annie, you know. But as you try to bring the knowledge and the information to your lips, you can't speak of it. And you become frantic and try to scratch out something about it in the dust of the floor, and you can't write about it. And nothing that you try will allow that information to escape the prison of your own mind. And you know that it never will. That is the only place that truth will ever live, is within your own mind.
She's a mess and sobbing on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, necklace still clutched in her hand.
Yeah. And the handprint glows and rotates and clicks into place, and the double doors swing open.
I'll go over and put a hand on Annie's shoulder and just say, "Annie, if you need anything from us, and you don't or can't tell us why, we'll do it. We're here for you."
She doesn't hear it. She's still crying.
Mm-hmm.
And so go over and hug her and hold her.
Group
Would she
hug.
let me?
I actually got a group hug. And Annie's the catalyst. That's so weird.
Yeah, right? Excellent. Okay.
Ow! Gosh darn it. Sorry.
So, there is a moment. Rainier is very uncomfortable, but diplomatic enough to just sort of let y'all have your moment because it's none of his business, and he knows that, and he's okay with that. And once you all are able to collect yourselves, you step inside through the doors, and you see a sort of ruined but beautifully carved sort of open foyer. There are carvings, look like dwarven carvings, all over this place. Frescoes and writing, most of which, Rowan, if you wanted to take the time to read bits of it, is just memorializing various dwarves and heroic acts. And you see, on the far end of the room, you see a staircase that leads both up and down. And otherwise, there's not much in this room anymore. It's clearly been abandoned for quite some time.
Theron, did the visions tell you where to go next?
This is, I believe, new to me. Rainier, why is there so much dwarven things in your mother's tomb? Is this all new to you as well?
And he is really, I mean, he's just completely flabbergasted, taking it all in, and he nods and says, I know it's been some time since I've been here, but I can assure you that the Brandath family had no idea that this was beneath their mausoleum.
Well, this area was originally settled by dwarves.
He says it was, and I suppose I shouldn't be that surprised. There are ruins of the very first settlers here, dwarves, as you mentioned, Rowan, but that was centuries ago. It's incredible to see some of it up close, and some that I presume not many people knew was here.
I do remember that the vaulted ceiling was rather high, so my assumption would be we have to go down.
That makes sense. Do we want to go down carefully? Or do we want to...
Yeah, is there
That went so well last time.
So let Lady Hasha walk about 20, 30 feet in front of us.
Sure.
I'll heal her up a little bit first and try to do Rocky's not noticing.
Okay. Okay.
Good call.
Good call.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will heal her for 6.
Okay, great.
I'll
That'll do nicely.
also try to check for traps if that's...
Yep. You can do intelligence investigation with advantage if Hasha's helping.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
All right. I actually don't think there are any traps on this staircase.
Oh, that's good.
Of course.
And now we know that for sure.
Wait, hang on. Let me just make sure. Yeah, no traps.
Total of 24. I want this to check the whole building. I want to know this building's blood type.
You positive.
Heard it's hard to get blood from a stone.
Nice.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh.
All right, so you safely head down these stairs, deeper, I should say, because you all are already a fair ways underground, but deeper underground. The vault here that you emerge into is lit by streams of sunlight that pour down from the ceiling, which is very confusing, catching motes of dust in their luminous pools all around this area. Ornate columns support a 30-foot high vaulted ceiling that's adorned. These are also adorned with carvings of dwarves basking in the presence of their gods, which you're able to identify at least some of them. The big three: Dumatoin, Moradin, and Clangadin. But there are others as well, and these are old carvings and old worship. There are deep alcoves lining the walls. There's quite a few of them throughout the space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 10 different alcoves lining the various spaces in this enormous room. And piled in one of the larger ones is a vast golden trove.
You didn't lead with that.
Yeah. I like to bury the lead a little bit. Overflowing with coins. And out of the dusty gloom steps a figure. And for the moment that he is in shadows, Theron, you recognize this as the figure that you saw at the end of your vision. And then he steps into one of the shafts of light streaming down, and you see an ancient-looking dwarf clutching a staff carved and painted to resemble a pair of entwined dragons, one red and one gold. And the dwarf sort of comes towards you, and despite his obvious venerated age, his eyes are steady and bright and clear. And he looks at you, and with a small, sort of resigned smile, he says, "Well, I wasn't expecting anyone. As you can see, the place is a bit of a mess. Perhaps you should come back later, after I've had a chance to tidy up a bit."
Well, we could help you. Obviously, this is a lot of work for just one individual. So many hands makes light work, and happy to help.
He says, "Well, I suppose it would be foolish of me to not accept help where it's offered. You'll forgive my rules and regulations, but I'd ask you not to approach." And he sort of, his gaze flicks over to the alcove with the riches in it, and he says, "Well, I think you probably know."
Whoops, pardon me, Ancient One. What is your name, and how have you been down here for so long?
He says, my name is Barak Clanghammer. It is a pleasure to meet the five of you. Who are you, by the way?
The emissaries of Lord Neverember.
Oh, really? Okay,
Well,
hang on.
not really.
No, that's fine. No, I love that. That's fine.
I mean, it's smart.
It is. Go ahead and make me.
Did I say something smart? Holy crap!
So as you say that, the dwarf looks over to Rainier, and his eyes sort of flash with recognition, and he says, "As I live and breathe, stones alive, is that Rainier Neverember?" And Rainier sort of looks at him and says, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of being introduced." And he says, "Oh, you wouldn't remember, but I met you when you were but a child, a young babe. You have grown into quite a man. And you are your father's vassal, it would seem." How interesting. Theron, I need you to make me a charisma deception check. You can make it with advantage since Rainier is with you.
All right.
And that seems to have lent some credence to the claim.
Let's check out those skills.
An insight check. Where the hell are his stats?
While he's doing that, Rocky's ready to step in between the two of them if he makes a move.
Sure.
And we'll go with a 25 on that one.
Oh, damn. Okay.
19
Well,
on the dice.
Nicely done. That's good because I haven't seen them yet, but something tells me
Pretty
his stats are quite
good.
good.
Well, I'll just be using prestidigitation to clean up. Try to
I love everything about that. Rowan was not at all being sarcastic and is just going around, tidying things. I love everything about that. Okay, so let's see. His insight. Oh, his insight's good, but not as good as I thought. Whoops. He got a 21. What was yours?
20. It was a 19 on the dice plus 6.
Holy shit. Okay. Sure. Great. You're going to have to give me a second.
He's going to change everything.
No, it's fine.
It's a very certain set of skills.
Yeah, right? No, I love this. Fantastic. So he sort of says to himself, well, I suppose it does make sense that your father addressing Rainier again, that your father would use his son as his vassal. And Rainier is very uncomfortable and just chooses to not say anything. You all have heard him talk about his father enough to know that, like, it's probably best if he just nods and doesn't say anything. And so he says, the dwarf says, well, in that case, I suppose my time here is through. And he he is going to walk sort of towards the treasure and step to the side of it, and he will nod and tap his staff on the ground, and there's a flash of light, and you hear the staff sort of clatter to the ground, and as your eyes clear, you see an enormous, majestic gold dragon where the dwarf was standing before.
Yeah, but gold dragons are good dragons, right?
Not the coin, the creature.
Aranax, I presume?
And he looks genuinely surprised at that, actually, and says, well, if I needed further proof that you are indeed Neverember's vassal, that would be it. None should know my name as you do.
I've looked into this. Holy crap.
Yeah, I didn't expect much of any of this, but I love it.
Dragon.
Dragon. That's a dragon.
That's a dragon.
Real dragon.
Dragon.
I kind of want to touch it. Maybe it's an illusion.
Don't
Do it.
don't touch it.
If you're willing, I can teleport you into his
Don't. Nope. Don't. Touch
No,
it.
no.
He does tell you.
No.
He does tell you. He says, now, as I'm sure you are aware, but it has been some time, and you humans are known to be somewhat forgetful. I will remind you of the deal I made with your father, young Neverember. The staff, and he indicates the staff that fell to the ground, and the gems. And you can see now that in and among all of the coinage, there are other valuable objects, mostly gemstones of various sizes and worth. He says, the staff and the gem are mine. They are my payment for my years of service.
Mm-hmm.
The coins, however, are rightfully yours to deliver to your father.
We'll get right on that.
Seems fair. Seems reasonable.
Fair.
We need a couple bags of holding.
Yeah, what's the plan there?
I'll pull out the scroll of Tinser's floating disc.
Great.
we're gonna figure out how to cast this.
Yes, I love it. Make an intelligence arcana check, I guess?
I think it's a spell casting ability check.
Oh, great. Okay.
And I was hoping that maybe me and Darren could team up on it, particularly since we just learned that, hey, we cast spells the same way. Sorta.
Sort of.
Sorta.
Okay, great. Then let's do that. So that's charisma then, yes?
Yes. I will get a 12, which I think
the DC is
good enough
10 plus
to
the
do it.
spell's level, so that's good
so
enough.
I think I got it. I nailed it. Boom.
Okay. And
It,
what is it, like a 3-foot diameter disc
Yes.
shimmers into being. Hey, Theron,
He is.
you hear a little bell in your head.
Oh, shit.
We may have a way to get this out of here. We had told Vajra where we were going. Maybe she's sending some people who might be able to help us. Just in case, I think we should get ready. And there might be a wizard with a metal arm walking through that door any minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're so screwed.
Oh, yeah, no. Hey,
I could use something to sink my axes into, and she looks at all of you, and you all see different eye color on Annie because she didn't put the necklace back on.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what's that?
Just go.
Let Let me have those of you who have lived in Waterdeep for some time, so that's Rowan and Sil and Rocky. Will you make me intelligence Waterdeep knowledge checks, please?
Nope. I will not.
Okay.
Neither will I.
Great.
Never
Session
mind. I
18
tried to
from
help you guys.
An 18. Rocky, that particular eye configuration is a fairly famous mark of a noble house.
Okay, do I know which one?
Yeah, with an 18, I think you do. Annie, what house is it?
Amcathra.
Amcathra, that's right.
Okay. I, as a player, don't know what that means, but I'll go with it.
They're a fairly famous noble house that does. They've got
Horses?
figures in a bunch of different pies, including horses, blacksmithing of various types, and wineries. I believe.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, right, Annie?
Potato.
Yeah.
One.
Uh,
All right, so I think Rocky's just gonna notice that and mutter somewhat under his breath. Shit. None of these people are who you think they are.
yeah, right.
And,
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say to Rainier, just in case we're about to be attacked, could you maybe ask the dragon if he could stick around for just a little while longer and help guard the stuff?
Yeah, he smiles and nods, and as he walks over to RNX, you see him pull out a rapier and a dagger from his belt that were concealed under his cloak, and he looks like he knows his way around them pretty well. So he speaks with RNX, and he's trying to be quiet about it, and RNX goes, "No one will leave this vault with this coin except you, and no one will be leaving with my payment."
Oh, good.
Nope. Wouldn't dream of it. Nope.
That's mostly
Not gonna-
comforting.
Not gonna do this.
That's mostly comforting.
like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
My
Right.
turn.
So, you all begin piling coins onto the disc. And,
Just rage looting.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah.
It can hold 500 pounds.
Oh, Lord. I don't
But
know.
we-
How much does 500,000 gold dragons weigh?
Uh,
I'll look it up.
Right, you all work on that. You're not going to get done with it by the time the...
oh, sure. Yeah, no way. No
50
way.
gold
But it's
per
good
pound,
information
I
to
believe.
know for the
50 gold per
future.
pound was what
No,
I
Annie is not actually helping though. She's ready.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And through the door comes a group of individuals. In the front of the group, do you know this person? Oh my God, you do know this person. The first person to walk in, Hasha immediately recognizes. I don't remember if any of the rest of you saw him. But through this door walks Aegorn Fuoco, the human that committed matricide.
Oh, it's that horrible murderer. Not horrible because he murdered, but just really bad at it.
Really good.
She clarifies as she yells it out.
Yeah, he says that. Oh, yeah.
You just gotta shut the hell up, Pasha, from
behind Aegorn come four sort of thuggish looking humans in black leathers, and behind them comes a tall, handsome, dark-haired individual with the metal arm.
Okay, so initiative and stuff, right?
Yes, it is. How did you know?
Right?
Where am I? Okay.
Oh shoot! I just killed my keyboard.
Well, that's not good. All right. So let's see. That's not bad. Sorry, give me 1 second. I was just really unprepared today. Aegorn that's a shit roll. And the thugs, less shit roll. Okay, great. All right. So who got a 20 or better? I have to do this a little bit differently today because of my setup. Who got a 20 or better? Anybody? All right, Theron, what'd you get?
22.
And Sil?
20.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay.
22.
That's the only good roll I'm gonna have for the night, guys.
What's his name? Oh, yeah.
We're all gonna die.
Dragon. We have a Hulk.
Who got a
You do have
15
a dragon.
19?
We do have a dragon.
Anybody get a 15 to 19?
Oh no!
Okay. 10 to 14.
14.
Oh my god. Did you all get 14s?
Yeah,
Sure.
12.
Yes,
You got a 12. Okay. Rowan and Sil, who wants to go first? Sorry, Rowan and Annie, who wants to go first?
Would you care to go first?
Oh, I think she would want to go first.
Okay. Rowan, a 12 for Rocky, and poor Agorn goes on a 5. Okay, so Theron, you are up first. What were you doing prior to their entrance into the room?
I was with Annie guarding the door as everyone was doing the shoveling.
Great. So one thing I will say is as soon as they entered the room, they came in fairly quickly. And as soon as they entered the room, the individual with the metal arm says, very quickly takes in the room and says, you how many of them are there? I've already lost track. Did I say 5 of the? No, 4 of
You
those.
said that there was 2 and one of them was already hurt.
Yeah, is that what I said?
He was
That's
missing
exactly-
a leg.
He says,
And an eye.
you 5, take care of them. I shall communicate with Lord Manchun. Theron, what are you doing?
I am going to... Oh god, I got so much to do. I am going to guiding bolt up the butt the Manchun.
Charming. All right.
Six
up the butt.
Head. You'll have to excuse me for just a moment while you do that. Get those numbers. I will be right back. I'm a failure today.
What is he doing? What did he forget?
I don't know, but he forgot maybe it was the knife to twist into our hearts further. I don't know.
Yeah, really.
We set those dominoes up to fall ourselves.
Using this
Yeah, really.
We have no one to
the
blame.
coast's lovely Tomb of Annihilation notebook to.
Ooh.
Why does it have to be a tomb of annihilation?
Yeah, why couldn't it be like
good
two
I didn't
of
think about, but
fairies
now
or
really used
unicorns?
All right, Theron. Tell me what happened.
Well, I pulled back the bowstring, took a shot, took aim. I rolled a 12 plus 6. So 18.
That will do.
All right. Ooh, I'm excited. 5d6.
Wait, 12 plus 6, 18. Oh, wait, hold on.
18 does it?
18 heads straight for him, and he snaps his fingers and throws up a shield, so it does not.
Damn shit.
There's a waste of one of my only 2 spell slots. Thanks, Warden.
All right. Theron is pissed. Anything else, Theron?
Oh, God. I'm going to move to behind Annie, where she is right now. She hasn't charged in yet, but I'm going to move to wherever she is right now.
Okay, great. Sil, you are up.
How far away are they?
I mean, you can get to him in a move. Where were you, actually?
I think
Were you gathering gold?
I think I was helping them with the gold.
Okay, so you will have to dash to get up to them.
Okay, so
Bonus action
they're
dash.
Right.
nope. Don't
Nope.
want to get that close to them
Okay.
just yet.
Fantastic.
So I'll move forward. So I'm next to Rocky,
Okay.
and I'll just look over him and go, just in case we both die. In love with you.
6 seconds, Sil.
And I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Ooh, at what?
I'm gonna cast it at I feel like I'm gonna cast it at the biggest threat, which is gonna be Manchun.
Okay.
And that is a +4 to hit. Okay. Please. 13.
13.
Yeah.
And it just wings off of his magical armor and does no damage.
It's okay.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay, so 2 shots at the figure of Manchun here, and he seems untouched. It is his turn now, and he is ready for you all. So he is going to... Oh, that's interesting. Let's do that. So
No.
right now, Rocky and Sil, and I think, Rocky, you and Annie were both by the door, or Rocky, what were you doing?
I guess so. Yeah. Well, we hadn't specified.
Yeah, so you tell me.
I'm wanting to get the drop as best I can on these people when they're walking in. Right?
Okay.
Mhm.
So I think what he'll do is Manchun is going to sort of step over to the side, and he is going to he is going to begin casting, and as far as you all can tell, nothing happened, which is super weird. But as far as you can tell, nothing happened. Next up is going to be the various thugs, and the figure of Manchun points at Theron and Rowan and says, "Them." And the various thugs are going to run up to the two of you. We'll say that 2 of them go to each of you. So the 2 that go over to Theron are going to try to attack you with their maces. They have maces? Whatever. That's 13 to hit and a 22 to hit.
Yeah, 22 hits.
All right. So one of them manages to beam you in the side with his mace for 6 bludgeoning damage. They each get 2 attacks. So that was one of them. Hits you once. A 21 also hits you, I assume. So the other one also hits you, but only with a glancing blow for 3 bludgeoning damage. As you sort of are knocked to the side by the first one's blow, it actually helps you sort of escape the worst of the other one's blow. Then Rowan, 2 of them approach you with a similar move. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Okay, but a 12 presumably does not. Okay, great. So one of them manages to get 2 solid hits on you. The other one is clearly like the recruit of the bunch and just like whiffs horribly twice. But the first one hits you twice for a total of 7 bludgeoning damage between 2 hits. All right, so things are getting heated very quickly, and it is Annie's turn.
Yep, a rage.
I'm shocked to hear it.
Yeah, and I go after Acorn.
Oh, interesting. All right. So you go to run over to Aegorn, who is still very close to, relatively speaking, close to Manchun, and you make it about 5 feet, and you run smack into a solid as rock barrier that you cannot see.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Okay. I think Annie would still take a swing at it.
Sure. That'll go well. So you start swinging at this invisible barrier. Oops. And you hit it. I mean, it's stationary, but it doesn't really seem to be seem to be doing much to help you get out of or get through it, I should say.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything else. Except yell at the wall, the invisible wall in between the 2 of us.
Excellent. All right. Rocky. No, Annie. No, Rowan. Oh my
God. Can I make an Arcana check to figure out what the heck that is?
Absolutely, you can.
I get a 20.
Yeah. You've heard tell of this powerful spell that creates an impenetrable wall of invisible force.
Annie, you can't break through it. It's invulnerable. And then I will take some of the blood that's still coming from my nose and lip from where Rocky just backhanded me.
I love whatever's about to happen.
Throw it at the men who are attacking me and Theron and cast Bane as a 2nd level spell on all 4.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Okay. Wisdom saves, correct?
Charisma saves.
Charisma saves. I always do that for this spell.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
I don't. Well, one of them probably passed. Yeah, so one of them got a 17. The next highest was a 12.
It's DC 13.
Okay, great. So one of the ones on Theron manages to force of personality resist your spell, but the other 3 are baned.
Okay, and then as a bonus action, I will heal myself a little and send Auntie Hasha to help Annie because Silme and Rocky are being, weird about this whole murder thing.
Sure. Being so weird about it. All right, Rocky, you are up.
Okay, so ever since Hasha said all that, he's just been completely dead-eyed to everything.
Yeah.
Total 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
And then Syl yells out that she loves him, and he just kind of like, God damn it. I love you too. And he just like then just goes and then he sees like Manchun come through the door, and he goes, "Oh, you remember me?" And he's going to try and grapple him.
Great. So you encounter the same barrier that Annie did. You make it a little bit further than her, maybe. But as you approach Manchun, you run smack into this wall of force. And you realize you begin to, based on like the direction that you came from, and because you all weren't next to each other, direction that you came from, you think that the wall wasn't around Annie, but is actually around Agorn and Manchun, or blocking them off rather than entrapping any of you all.
All right, then I'm gonna yell, Rowan. I'll put it this way: if any of us want to make out of here, you got to figure out how to take care of this thing, and then I guess I'll run and try to attack the others that were attacking Theron.
Yep,
If I
definitely.
understand the situation correctly.
Okay. So
That's
you
a lot
hit
of
one of
pressure.
the ones that's on Theron.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'll go ahead and try to just attack, straight out attack, and that's
Okay.
a 14 to hit.
A 14 does hit them, yes.
Okay. For 6 damage, and then I'll do
Okay.
key point to do the other things with a 24 and a 12 to hit.
The 12. Oh, actually, the 12 does hit. That is their AC.
Awesome. For another 12 damage, and they both need to try and stay standing with a dexterity check.
Great. So, how many different ones did you hit? Just each of the two there? Like the first hit was on one, and then the 12 was on the other. Okay, great.
Right.
All right, got it. All right, strength check. The first one is a 12, and the second one is a natural 20. So one of them probably maybe falls.
Yeah, the 12 falls.
Okay, great. So one of them is prone,
Mhm.
and they are all baned except for. Great. Okay. All right. Rocky runs over and just starts laying into these two that are surrounding Theron, and it is Agorn's turn. And bless his cotton socks. Let's see. He is going to. Oh, actually, I do know what he's going to do. He is going to begin to. You've seen him before. You realize that you've seen him before very infrequently at the Yawning Portal, performing. He's a bard that occasionally performs at taverns around town, particularly at the Yawning Portal. So he pulls out a lute, and as insane as it sounds, starts playing the fucking lute in the middle of this battle. And
That doesn't sound insane at all.
some of you think he's crazy until he vanishes from sight.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, that is the bottom of that round. We're back at the top. Theron, you have 2 attackers on you, but Rocky is assisting you. One of them is on the ground.
Sorry, quick question. We had Rainier and
dragon.
You did have Rainier and the dragon. Yes, of course.
Yeah, we did.
I was saying, like, could Dragon help us out? Like,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, that's
Rainier rolled a natural 1
yeah.
and the dragon rolled a 2, so they're going to go now. Dragon, Rainier. Oh, lords. Okay, let's go have a look at the dragon's stats. That
please
sounds
have
like
a dispel
fun.
magic. Please
A
have
dispel maggot?
a dispel
That should be a
maggots.
spell.
You know there are maggots that are getting into our things.
Amazing. Unfortunately, no, the gold dragon does not have a dispel magic on him. They've kind of gotten into you all, so he doesn't really want to use his breath on them. He is going to use his frightful presence, however, which means that everybody is going to need to make, not you all, but your enemies are going to need to make wisdom saving throws. That's a fail.
I'll
That's
remind you that they're baned also.
great. If any of them roll above a 10, I'll be sure and roll that d4.
Please do.
That is a fail with the Bane, so there you go. The 4th thug is also a fail. We should roll for Agorn. Ooh, Agorn might have passed, actually. Let's see here. Yes, Agorn passed, incredibly. And Manchun rolled a natural 19, so he also passed. But the 4 thugs are terrified of this big ol' dragon. And then said big ol' dragon is going to lay into the ones around Rowan, because Rowan's probably closer to him anyway, and yeah, you guys seem to have the ones around Theron under control. So it is going to try and bite one of them, and that is a 23 to hit. So it bites. Oh, there's a good chance that it's just going to bite him in half. 15. 25. Okay, not quite dead, but it takes a significant chunk out of this individual's arm. He's going to be hard pressed to do much of anything. Then with the dragon's claws, it is going to attack the other one. That's a 33 to hit and a 25 to hit. We did not expect you guys to have him on your side, but that's all right. That is 10, 13, 33. Okay, so and then he just tears the other thug that is there next to Rowan apart with his claws, just rips him in half.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Rainier is a little bit at a loss. Seeing that the dragon seems to be doing his best to take care of Rowan, though, I suppose he'll run over to the thugs that are on Theron and attack them as well. So let's have a look here. With the rapier, he's going to hit. With the dagger, he is going to miss. Rapier's a D8. Okay. He's going to do 5 more damage to one of those thugs. All right. He attacked the one that was prone, so he does have advantage on his dagger hit, but he's still going to miss. All right. So I do love playing a bunch of NPCs and not involving you all at all. It's my favorite thing.
So do we.
This is great.
So the dragon just roars. You can see that all of these poor, and you recognize them now as Zentarum thugs, are just absolutely pissing themselves, terrified of this guy. He rips one of them apart, bites into the other one. Rainier comes forward and executes just a perfect thrust with his rapier into the gut of one of the thugs around Theron. And now we are back up to Theron's turn.
And now we find out why I chose spring. So I am going to place my hand on Rocky and say, "Go get him, Tiger," and teleport him through the force field, not through the ethereal planes, so he can teleport physically through it, right onto the other side by Manchun.
Wait, say that again? I got distracted because I just noticed that Dan is here with us. Hi, Dan.
So I'm using my phase step for springtime to teleport a one willing creature 30 feet.
Okay.
Whatever direction. And that would be right next to Manchun.
Okay, and who are you teleporting? Yourself?
Rocky.
Now that seems more reasonable. All right, so Rocky, you find yourself standing right next to Manchun.
I'm getting nowhere near that guy.
Break that con. Break that con. Break that con.
Somewhat surprised. Anything else, Aaron?
Well, I still have one guy on me.
You do have 2 on you, in fact. One of them, however, is on the ground and prone.
Okay, well, the one that's still standing is going to get a total to dead. That's
nice. All right, that's a wisdom save. Fail.
All right.
Oops. I'm just tossing dice all over this room. It's fine.
Only for 4 damage.
Okay, that ain't nothing.
And
all right.
Hold my ground.
Syl, you are up.
I assume
You see Rocky just vanish from beside you and appear next to Manchun.
Cool. I assume there's the 2 people that are on Theron, and then. Sorry, I'm trying to get my bearings.
Yes, 2 people on Theron, 1 person on Rowan.
I will go for the 2 on Theron.
Swipe. One of them's prone, right?
For one of them that is prone, yes. Which you can have advantage on if you're going to go up to them and use your melee weapons, use your scimitars.
I am indeed.
Great.
Sweet.
So you have advantage on your attacks because he's prone.
Sweet. All right, first hit is 21.
That hits, yes.
Okay. And I was going to split it, and I was going to go for 1 and then 1.
Okay, so not advantage on the other.
Okay. That's a natural 19. So
that'll hit, yes.
23.
Okay. Tell me that damage.
Do I get sneak attack?
You do on... Yes, you can choose which one you want it on, I suppose, but you have to choose before you roll the damage.
Which one looks more hurt?
The one that's on the ground.
I want most of the damage to go to the not prone one.
Okay.
Because I want to get him down.
So roll, go ahead and give me those damages.
I'll roll the 3, and then I'll roll the run normally.
Got it.
Gosh darn it, if I could just roll inside my box. 7 plus 2, right?
Yep.
Wait, is it plus 2 or plus 4?
Plus 2. Because yes, plus 2.
Then it's 9 to the guy standing.
Okay.
And 5 to the one laying down.
All right. They both grunt in pain as your scimitars slash across their midsections, but they sort of throw a glance back at their master, and then throw a glance over at the great big giant dragon in the room, and they really just.
And I just hiss at him with my big old fangs, like. Hiss at him.
All right. Manchun is very surprised at your presence, Rocky. Not super pleased.
Two of us.
But he's also busy. So he is going to, I just got to check. He's going to pull out from a little pouch at his belt. He's going to pull out a little piece of what looks like copper wire, and he's going to cast a spell and concentrate, and sort of you can see his mouth moving, though he's not actually speaking out loud, and that is what he is going to do.
Would I recognize that spell?
Okay.
Possibly. You're over there looking. Go ahead and make an intelligence arcana check.
If it's one that I can use, do I get any bonuses to that?
Can you use that one?
If message requires a copper wire. So
It is not message.
Okay, then. No, I wouldn't know what it is then.
Okay, great.
It's message.
I'm really worried that it's Thunderbolt.
Aaron's like, that's not the message. All right.
He's calling for backup.
Underwhelming.
Bless their cotton socks. The thugs are gonna go, and it's just not looking awesome for them by basically any metric you could imagine. Let's see. So first of all, they are terrified of this giant. All right, so they're just frightened of him, which means they can't move towards him, which they didn't want to do anyway, and their attacks have disadvantage while they're in line of sight of him. Let's take a quick look. Yep. Okay. So they throw a glance back at Manchun, who just glares at them, and they sort of like tears begin to like form in their eyes as they throw themselves at you guys because they know they have to, because what's worse, death at the hands of a dragon or an evil powerful wizard? Who can say, really? The one that is on the ground is going to stand up, and those two are going to continue to attack Theron. The first two swings, a 12 and a 19, so the 19 I assume hits.
Yep.
The second two swings miss, so only one hit in there because I roll like shite, and that's 6 more bludgeoning damage as it beams you upside, and you hear it sort of like whimper as it hits you, they're basically just trying to keep too many eyes on their master and the dragon, and so that's why they're not doing great. Then there is one left over by Rowan and the dragon, and I think this one is going to make a really poor life choice. It's going to try and attack you twice, Rowan.
Oh, that's fine.
Does a 13 hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay, so they both miss because this guy is absolutely terrified, and then he just takes off running.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
And the dragon is just going to lean down and, with a 22, bite the fleeing thug for
Enough damage.
28 points of damage, and just bite him in half. And like his legs continue running for like a half second before they realize that the top half of it is gone. Anyway, it's not good. So those two thugs have been dispatched.
First good meal in many years.
Annie, you are up.
Yeah, seeing that Rocky got on the inside somehow. Well, I don't know if she'd know it was Theron, though. But she does know that she can't attack the wall. And only the enemies are next to Theron, so she runs that way. And but she looks at Rocky before she was like, "Give me a net!" and but runs away to go attack the other guys.
And you never saw Theron cast the spell to get Syl to the balcony.
Right, yeah. So she doesn't know exactly what happened. She's just she thinks Rocky did it somehow. So she's like, "Get me in!"
That's right.
And now Rocky knows what it feels like to teleport. Conversation. Roundabout.
Fun.
Really good. All right, so you run over to where now, Annie?
The two that are still by Theron.
Yep. Great.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yep.
First attack with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. 17 plus 5.
That'll do.
And 4.
And Rowan, I was rolling those d4s for Banes for all of their attack rolls.
For sure.
Fear not.
9 on the first one.
9, all right.
Points of damage.
Yep.
17 to hit on the second one.
That hits, and it literally doesn't matter how much damage you do.
Okay.
You just cleave him down the center, and he drops to the ground dead.
Okay. Yep.
All right, there is one left. We hop to Rowan.
Annie Hasha will attack the last one.
Okay, make it so.
She will get an 18.
An 18 hits.
Okay, so then that's a Constitution saving throw.
That is an 11.
So 5 points of piercing damage, and you pass the poison save, so then that's 6 points of poison damage.
All right, this one it just wants to sit down and just die peacefully. He's done, bless his heart. He's not dead yet, and he wishes he was.
And I'll go over and start studying the Wall of Force, and I don't really know a whole lot about these things. Or I mean, I made a really good check, so see if there's a way to get around it, or if it ends at the floor or at the walls.
Sure.
What options are there?
Yeah, so you go over there. You're going over to try and feel your way, or this is knowledge of the spell that you're asking me about?
Yeah, just knowledge of the spell. I'm just moving.
Oh, it depends entirely on how the wall was shaped. It can be shaped in a lot of different ways, so it just depends on how he decided to shape this one.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for me.
All right. Rocky, you are next to the fiend.
Yeah, so I pop up there and everything, and well, back again, and then I'm gonna try and grapple. Let's try this second time.
All right.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay. Come on.
For a 23.
Oh yeah, no, he rolled a 7, so no pluses are gonna quite get you that high. So you've got him grappled.
I grapple, and I'll use another key point to do 2 more attacks.
Okay.
That's a 17 and a 6.
So he is going to, since you're just grappling him at this point, he is going to snap his fingers again and deflect both of those attacks with his shield.
Okay. And I have to hit to make him try and fall, right?
What's that?
I have to hit to try and make him fall prone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is gonna look right at you as you send one punch straight for his face, and he snaps and puts up the shield and just looks at you and sort of shakes his head slightly and says, "Just wait," and smiles at you. It is bless be. It's Agorn's turn.
Good old invisible Agorn.
Yeah, bless him. I think that is too big a range. He's not going to risk. Yeah, no. Okay, so he's just going to, bless him, he's going to try and stab you with a short sword, Rocky. He's invisible, so he's going to have advantage on the first attack.
Bless his cotton socks.
That is a 21 to hit you, Rocky.
That'll work.
So you feel a short sword. You feel a short sword enter your side, dealing 8 points of piercing damage. But then you also turn and see Agorn standing there, and he's like, "Damn it, I always forget that part."
Yeah, because I'm going to Stone's Endurance.
Oh, damn it, that's right. He didn't see you do that last time, so.
And I will negate 7 points of damage, so a total of 1.
Great. Excellent. And then there's only one thug left, and we're just going to say that the dragon and Rainier finish him off as he sort of sits down and allows himself to be eaten by Aranax. So we are back up to Theron. The thugs are all dead. Aegorn is visible again. What are you doing?
I am going to. I'm just dropping pretenses of the bow altogether, and I'm going to try casting Toll the Dead on the wizard, and at the same time I'm going to yell out, "Hey, Snowman, you might just want to run then." And then I'm going.
Snowman?
They told me about the other one. I'm going to assume it's a snowman.
Oh, some Malacca.
Oh, I thought you were referring to Aegorn, and I was like,
that's
how did we come up with that nickname?
that is a better nickname.
We were all like,
Right, we saw him murder his mother and the snowman. Yeah.
The Stone Cold Killer.
Hasha.
No, he's just going under the assumption this is another one of those little snowman wankers that's going to melt if he dies.
Okay. Who are you told the deading?
Manshooning. Manshun gonna get a Toll the
I'm
Dead.
trying to remember if...
Yeah.
No, this is always a question about Wall of Force, and I don't
Nothing
remember...
can physically pass through it. Like, so
Right.
I'd assume my bolts wouldn't be able to go through it, but this is something
Correct.
That's
That's
a
for sure.
sound. It's a sound that causes an effect on them.
I mean, sound is physical, but for the sake of expediency, I'll let it happen, because a single Toll the Dead's not going to kill him, so...
It's
So
total
wisdom
cover.
row of...
Apparently it's total
7...
covered according to Dan Dillon.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
Well, in any case, it's going to make the save even if it does happen. So, great. Who's next? I don't know. Syl.
what does its total cover mean? Sorry.
So you essentially can't
Target.
him. It's a him.
Well, there's nothing out. There's nobody else to kill.
That is true enough.
We taunt
We're
Yeah.
fresh out of things to kill.
Fresh out. And spells can't pass through the barrier.
So it would seem.
Okay, thanks, Dan. You could have lied, dude. So I will. I will not shit.
Sorry, not you.
We'll taunt.
I will hold my attack until the force is down. And can I just pace in front of the force where I know it is, like Darth
You
Maul?
can, but my question about that trigger is you can't see it. So how do you propose to know if and when it is down?
Did I not see any?
No, it's completely invisible.
Oh, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
know.
you
when
know that
it's
it's
down.
there, but you can't see the wall at all. You know it's there because you watched Danny run right into it, but
Okay. Could I just walk and drag the butt of my sword against it, or does it cause damage?
no, it doesn't.
And I would just essentially just butt the sword against it until it's not there anymore.
Okay, sure.
I mean, that's
Now's not the time to stop using the rule of cool, so absolutely.
the rule of cool.
Yeah, it's a good rule.
It is. All right, great. So, speaking of that, there is a very confusing moment. There is a brief shimmer of light from right next to Manshun, and when the light sort of coalesces, you see Manshun's twin. Except this Manshun is wearing these incredibly fancy embroidered robes that are just oozing magic. And he carries this incredibly ornate staff that likewise oozes magic. Even those of you who aren't magic users can feel the power coming off of these items, these vestments, and this staff. And he waves his hand, and the figure that you are holding on to, Rocky, discorporates into ice and snow and water, much like the last one that you found did, so that only this other Manshun is left standing here with you. And he sort of looks around And Niall smiles and nods and turns to Aegorn and says, "You've done well, servant." And he is going to reach out. Oh, he'll enjoy this. He's going to reach out to you, Rocky, and I need you to make me I believe it's a Constitution save. Yes, it is a Constitution save, please.
That's a 13.
Okay, you feel yourself begin to... I'm going to restart this sentence and you'll understand why in a moment. You feel your muscles begin to stiffen, and for the moment, you are restrained.
Okay.
Yes, Sil?
Rockies.
If the thing went away, wouldn't
Yes. Yes. You also said that you were going to attack Manchun, but the Manchun that you were targeting is gone, but I'll let you attack the new one.
Oh, that's...
I'm very nice.
Yes, you are. The DM
Yes,
give it.
you are. You are such a graceful god.
Mm.
And it's just a single roll. There's no advantage on it or anything, right? No. Yeah.
No, there is absolutely not advantage on it.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration. That's better. That's going to be a 22 to hit.
That will do, yes. Oh,
No, don't. Come on, man.
yeah, no, he'll just shield it.
God damn it.
Oh, I need to write new spell slots.
You need to stop. Why did my D&D Beyond just crash?
I don't know. Okay.
I get the second
Let me
or
have... What's that?
I don't get the backhand, just the one, right?
No, just the one. Let me have wisdom perception checks from everyone, please.
Natural 20.
Oh, wisdom perception text?
Somebody said natural 20. Was that you, Theron?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Thank
Rowan?
God.
2.
19 from Rocky.
All right. Annie?
Dirty 20.
All right. Sil?
Oh, yeah, it's 6.
Okay. Really good. Theron and Annie and Rocky, you all have the weirdest sensation. You hear voices that do not seem to be coming from anywhere in this room. You don't know what they're saying. It almost feels like you are hearing them like from underwater. All you can tell is that they are raised voices, several of them. And you feel cool, colder than you did a moment. Yeah, super cool. No, colder than you did a moment ago, almost as if you are sort of packed into. It's not like you're packed in ice. It's not that cold, but suddenly you feel a chill that just sort of completely surrounds you, and it's very strange. And I need each of you to make me. The three of you to make me Constitution saving throws, please. Rocky, you're going to make yours at disadvantage.
Why not?
Annie, what'd you get?
18.
Okay. Theron, what'd you get?
It's a big hefty 4.
Oh, boy. Rocky, what'd you get?
Mine went from a 6 to a 4.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, sure. Then why not? Annie and Rowan and Sil, you see Theron and Rocky vanish.
Oh, no.
They are gone.
Okay.
It is Rowan's turn.
Okay. Well, that changes what my action was going to be.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Annie's turn. Annie's still there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes
Sorry.
Oh. Right, yeah. Well, the wall's gone. So she can see super decked out Manchun and Aegorn.
And Aegorn is, in fact, still there, yes.
Yeah, she's
Actually, Aegorn has, and I know this is off his turn, but this absolutely would have happened immediately. Aegorn has fallen to his knees in supplication to this new Manchun.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to attack the one on the ground.
Yes! Yes!
Amazing.
Excellent!
Tasha is so
Wonderful
excited.
tactics!
Yep, absolutely you are.
Both hand axes. Swipey.
You already have advantage on this, but I'm so proud of you.
All right. With 17 plus 5 for the first one to hit.
Good lord, yes. The bard does not have shield.
6 plus 3 is 9 plus 2, 11 damage on that one. And then the second attack, she's going to make reckless.
Oh boy, okay. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
12 to hit.
No,
Yeah.
clearly Annie's not the reckless type. All right, fantastic. So Annie goes to town on Aegorn, who like freaks out and turns around, but keeps throwing glances at Manchun, which are either like super like enraptured by his lord and master being there, or like, dear God, please help me. All right, Rowan, now it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to make a silent image of the black staff calmly walking down the stairs towards us.
I like it. Okay. You do that. I'm just gonna see. Aegorn's gonna have no idea, but I need to see if Manchun notices you casting. Will you make me a Rowan is clever enough about this to try and hide his casting. So will you make me a
It's a warlock invocation, if that makes any difference.
does it? What does it do to your component requirements for that one? I don't remember that invocation.
It removes them, I think.
Does it remove all of them? I hate to be
yeah, right.
about this,
Misty
but-
Visions without expending a spell slot or material components.
or material components. Great.
But I think it doesn't have them to begin with.
Which
So right.
begs a lot of questions. Oh, it does actually have.
No,
a
it does. It
component,
totally does.
But that means you're still doing your verbal and somatic. So go ahead and make me a. We can call it dexterity stealth. How does that feel?
Sure.
Great.
I roll a 6. I will use inspiration
Great. Do that.
and roll a 17 instead. And so
That's
yes, right. So I get a 22.
All right, great. His perception is not great. So yeah, he doesn't notice you casting. Fantastic. So Vajra, the image of Vajra, comes walking down the stairs. And first of all, Manchun's soon-to-be stone toy, his new adornment for his lair, just vanished. And now some uppity spellcaster woman has just walked in. He is not pleased about these turn of events.
And Hashra will continue to assist Annie.
Absolutely. Rocky is gone. Aegorn is like, what's happening? And he's gonna just heal himself. He's gonna strum a little tune, and you see some of his wounds close up a little bit because he's a bit of a coward and doesn't know what else to do. Also, it didn't work super well, so there's that. Cool. The dragon. You tell me what you want RNX to do.
I wanted him to counterspell and bring back my people.
Can't counterspell. I'm
Well, then
sorry.
what is he good for?
Biting
Scary.
thugs in half.
Well, then bite Manchun in half.
Maybe he can get over
Would
it.
you like him to bite Manchun? Okay, we're gonna try and bite Manchun. So he tries to bite Manchun, and even Manchun's shield cannot avoid that bite. Would you like him to try and claw Manchun, or do you want him to claw Aegorn?
Claw Manchun.
Okay.
Manchun!
I got
He tries to
Aegorn.
claw-
100% man.
He tries to claw Manchun. The first one actually misses. The second one, math 23 plus is gonna will cause Manchun to use another spell slot. So, but the bite goes off, and he bites Manchun for what is undoubtedly, that's a 10, that's a 7, for 27 points of damage. He's beginning to look a little concerned because that's a big dragon. Excellent. Rainier, I guess, is going to go over to Aegorn, and he recognizes him, so he doesn't really want to kill him. So I think he's going to try and grapple Aegorn, which is going to be hilarious to behold. Yep. Okay, Aegorn somehow manages to avoid Rainier's grapple attempt. But he's over there, and he's trying to also warn you off, Annie. He says, there are others who are more culpable. He also doesn't know about the matricide. There are others who are more culpable here. We don't need any more dead bodies. Right. Theron is gone. Syl? As you're thinking about this, I want to just say to everybody watching, we are going to go a little bit longer tonight. Sorry, but you know how finales are. They do go a little bit longer. I do think within the next half hour or so, we will be wrapped up. So it's just going to be a little bit longer. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I do have some things to announce and talk about at the end of the stream. So if you can stick with us, do so that you can be around for all of that. Thanks for sticking in with us. So Syl, it is your turn. 6 seconds. What you doing?
Because there's always a 1 in the world, I'm going to try and cast Charm Person on Manchun. Even though I know he rolls with advantage because we're fighting him.
That he does. That is an 18 to save.
Hey, worth a shot.
Yep. And
Yeah. There's no bad ideas at this point.
That's right. Absolutely.
As a bonus action, I just want to use Second Wind just to get my health up, just in case shit goes sideways.
Yep, definitely. All right. So it is Manchun's turn, and he's real pissed. And he realizes that at the moment his biggest concern is this big old dragon that's trying to bite him. So he is going to point his finger at the dragon, and a sickly green beam is going to fly out of it and for the right towards the dragon. And I don't remember how much damage that does. It's a lot. Great. I will take care of how much damage that is. It's a lot, but I have a feeling, yeah, the dragon saves, so take half. It's fine. As I calculate that, I need everybody to make, everyone that's left, to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh,
12?
12, okay. Syl?
5.
Okay. Annie?
14.
Okay.
I roll well.
Syl disappears.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye. It was nice knowing you.
All right. The dragon took 35 damage.
Out of his 6,000 hit points, right?
That's a lot, but all right. So where's my initiative order? So Manchun seems to be sort of ignoring you all and facing off against this dragon at the moment. Annie, you are up. Rainier is trying to dissuade you from killing Aegorn.
Oh. But Annie knows about him killing his mother.
That's true.
And I feel like with her background story, she wouldn't be okay with that. So she's going to say, yeah, no, you don't kill your mom. And
Rainier rather shocked at this statement.
Right.
But yeah, go for it.
Yep.
Show him how to murder properly.
With advantage, I rolled a 16 both times for the first one.
All right, that'll do.
So 8 points of damage for
All
the first
right.
attack. Second attack going to be reckless. Try it again. 18 to hit.
Yes.
For 6 damage.
All right, so Annie is going to town on Aegorn, and he's just like, he keeps looking back at Manchun to see when help is coming, and realizes that Manchun is currently engaged in a spell battle with a big old gold dragon, so that's sort of a problem. Excellent. So Annie takes a couple of swings, and it is Rowan's turn.
Okay, so Rowan will continue to concentrate on the image and have it continue to come down the stairs and start to ominously point at Manchun with her mouth like moving as if she was quietly speaking syllables.
Yep, he
magical
definitely
stuff.
forgot about her for the moment, and by that, I forgot about her. But I promise I will have her do something this round.
And then Rowan will say, hey, I don't know if anyone's ever had the bravery to tell you this, but you look super gaudy. Like, you just got way too much stuff going on over there. And he'll cast Vicious Mockery at you.
How very dare you, sir?
They're probably too afraid of you to tell you.
It's a non-natural 20 to save, and he knows he looks fabulous.
That is the nice, vicious insult I've ever heard.
He's like a Southern belle. It kind of it's that like.
Oh, honey, that's
your
dress
heart.
Oh.
in the store.
All right, Rocky is gone. Agorn is just freaking out, and I think he's going to strum a few chords on his lute and disappear. I think he has. Hold on, I need to make sure that he has that spell slot remaining. I think he does. Yes, he does. Okay, so he turns invisible. Looks like we'd lost Max. That's exciting.
No, I think
he's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, he's being dramatic, because he disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Agorn disappears. The dragon is going to attack Manchun. It's not pretty. Theron is gone. Syl is gone. All right. So Manchun is going to turn to the image of Vajra and just snarl, "You have no place here." And well, that's good for you. Is going to use a very high-level spell on that illusion.
It does nothing.
And immediately, as soon as the spell goes off, he immediately recognizes his mistake. And based on who's left in the room, he's going to go ahead and turn his eyes to you, Rowan. And he is pissed. I need the two of you remaining to make Constitution saving throws, please.
I probably fail with a 5.
You do. Annie?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah. I got a 21.
Oh my god, okay, so you're still there, but Rowan disappears.
I was just joking about the ropes.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
All right, Annie,
I
it's your
totally
turn.
wasn't.
Oh yeah, everybody's going. I'm going for Manchun. So
Okay.
wait, if Rowan's gone, Hosh is gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to make first attack reckless. 16 plus 5 to hit.
21, he will snap his fingers and put up a shield.
Okay, second one also reckless. 3. Oh gosh darn it! No, I whiff on the second one.
Oh no. Okay. So he's busy. He just doesn't have time for you. He's just shields and focusing on the dragon. Rowan's gone. Rocky's gone. Agorn is going to hide in the corner. The dragon and Rainier are going to continue to engage Manchun. So it is 3-on-1. It is not going well. Annie, make another Constitution saving throw.
19 plus 4.
Damn. All right.
She's a barbarian, of course. She's gonna
I
be
know.
the best
It's fine.
lady standing.
All right.
We're all dying.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw this time.
That's
Okay. Yeah, that one's bad.
Okay.
7.
Okay, so you get a lightning bolt in the face, as does the dragon. He couldn't get Rainier in there. Let's see. That is 10, 15, 25, 35, 39 points of lightning damage.
I only had 30.
Okay, so you fall unconscious, and the world goes black for the last standing person in the Vault of Dragons.
bullshit.
All is darkness. Annie, I need you to make me a death saving throw, please.
Fail.
Okay. The four of you who disappeared from the vault before, the first thing that you all begin to sense, to feel, to come back to you is that feeling of cold. And you feel you can't move anything. You are sensing, you can feel that you are cold, but you can't move anything. The next thing that begins to come back is you are able to hear those voices. And again, it feels like you are underwater. The things that you are hearing are coming from far away. You can hear them, but they're all very muted. And we're gonna hold on for just a second. Max, will you pop us onto We'll Be Right Back? And folks, we will finish this epilogue in just a moment.
And we're back.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody. We are back. So, sounds as if you are underwater from far away. You feel tied down. Let me have... Actually, I'm going to roll a d4. Great. Rowan, you were the first one to be able to see anything. Light, blindingly bright light, is suddenly shining right on your face. And you see two sort of shadows reach for you and begin to fiddle with things around your head and your arms and your legs. And you feel yourself. You're able to move your arms, though you are extremely weak for the moment, but you're able to move your arms and your legs. And one of these shadows reaches for your face, and you feel something being pulled off of your face. Arms encircle you and pull you out of something, and you find yourself in a room. And as you're able to look around and you turn back to look at where you were before, you see this strange glass tube that is filled with a sort of sickly greenish liquid that has arm and leg restraints. You see this strange sort of mask that was clearly on your face sitting on a table just to the side of this tube. And you see lined up next to you, you see 4 other similar tubes, but these are all sealed. And your friends, Syl, Theron, Annie, and Rocky, are inside of them, still strapped down with these masks over their faces. You see Annie thrashing beneath her restraints. Annie, I need you to make another death saving throw, please.
13. So.
Okay, so 1 success. You are set on the ground and sort of with a hand on you to steady you, and strength is beginning to come back to your limbs, so you're able to stand. You take a few deep breaths, and what do you do?
Can I sense anti-Hasha telepathically?
Not on this plane, no.
Okay. And does I guess I'll try to heal Annie, since she looks like she's the one who's suffering the most inside of the area, and if she can break out, then maybe she can help. So.
Great. Yes, I need to take a quick look at this. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, go ahead and roll the heal while I take a look at this.
I'll heal you for 1 point of damage.
I mean, hey, that's enough, right? Hang on just a second.
1 or a million.
Yes, that is fine. You can do that. Yes. All right. So Annie, you are healed, but you are still restrained and actually still unconscious within your tube. And you see a few other figures, Rowan, who are in the room, who move forward to the other tubes and open them up, and similarly pull your friends out, removing their restraints, removing their masks, pulling them out of these liquid-filled tubes and setting them on the floor.
What's happening? Where's Manchun? Who are you people?
And you finally take a good look at the person who pulled you out, Rowan, and you see a tall, older looking, not old, but older than Syl, tiefling. And it takes you a minute because his head sort of swivels towards you when you speak, but his eyes don't focus on you, and it takes you a moment to realize that he's blind. And he says, we have much to discuss and little time to discuss it in. Your friends must regain their strength quickly, and we must flee.
Okay.
And so
not really in a good position to argue with you, so all right.
He leads you all through a series of passageways and walkways. You catch occasional glimpses of outside of the building that you're in, and you see that you are in some sort of enormous cavern. And there is a giant city built into this cavern, but it is clearly underneath some sort of underground or within some sort of a cave or something like that. And you are eventually taken to a very simple building within this city and sat down, and the man, the tiefling, says to you that, again, he apologizes for sort of forcing you to come with him so quickly, but he's glad that you did. He introduces himself as Boskin Gorb. He is an ally of Davil Starsong, who you all know of and yet have not met. And somehow my friend Davil knows of you and knew that you were in danger and sent me to rescue you. He says, we have been able to get a bit of information about what has been happening. The 5 of you have been subjects of an experiment of sorts. I don't know all the details, but it seems that quite a few individuals were involved. We believe that the Xanathar was involved, and he recruited the help of some of his Illithid friends to conduct this experiment. It seems he was searching for the very thing that I believe you found. A vault full of hundreds of thousands of gold coins. Am I correct?
We did find one of those.
Something went wrong with the experiment. We are not sure exactly what. But after a time, the things that you experienced in your dream states, in this artificial reality that you were placed in, began to bleed into the real world. Things began to change without any discernible reason or impetus behind them. You should know that Blackstaff Tower and Force Grey have been alerted to the presence of one of the clones of Manchun here in Waterdeep. And Vajra the Blackstaff herself is beginning a raid on his towers, as his presence here in Waterdeep cannot be countenanced. That is occurring as we speak. Davil was made aware of your predicament, though he has no idea how. One day he awoke knowing that he had met the 5 of you, but also knowing that he had never seen anyone like the 5 of you. Details of your adventures began to become clear to him, and that is when he sent word to me to look into it. We had already begun to discover certain things about the Xanathar's experiment here below. And I was able to find you and pull you from the teeth of this experiment. Other things have changed. We have reports that there are others who are also used in the Xanathar's bid to find this vault. They are being looked into as we speak, though I can't at the moment give you any details about who these individuals are or what has happened to them. He says, you must have so many questions, but I want to make it clear that you've been through an ordeal. You've learned things, you've seen things, and though they may not have been a part of our reality in the strictest sense, what you have done has caused great ripples here in the city of Waterdeep. I can't even begin to imagine questions you may have. I will attempt to answer some of them as best I can.
Are we all there, or is it just Rowan?
No, it's all 5 of you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Do we still own a tavern?
He says, I don't know anything about a tavern. What tavern do you own?
No, never mind.
How long have we been in there?
He says, it wouldn't happen to be the tavern on Trollskull Alley in the Castle Ward.
Yeah, that one.
That has been the subject of some debate. That tavern has undergone several instantaneous and significant alterations over the past few weeks. No one is really sure what's happening inside. It was put about that the place was haunted, and so has been sealed up, and no one has been allowed inside for some time.
Huh.
What's the name on it?
He says there hasn't been a name on that building for ages now.
Okay.
How long? Like Theron said, how long have we been under? How long?
Months, at least. We're not really sure when the Xanathar began his experiments.
I just want to know, who are you people?
He says, of course, my apologies. He says, I've introduced myself, but I am an associate of Davil. We are members of the Zentarum, though I seem to believe that perhaps that requires some clarifying with you all.
Yeah, please.
Though we are not, strictly speaking, in Waterdeep, we have heard tell of the factions of the Zentarum that have been warring within the city above. We try down here to take no part in that particular engagement, though I will tell you in confidence that if push came to shove, my loyalty is to Davil and his friends, the Doom Raiders, and not to this clone of Manchun that, if the Blackstaff has anything to say about it, won't be long for Waterdeep anyway.
And what about you other four? Who are you?
They sort of nod briefly to you, but look to the tiefling who clearly is
I'm
the
talking
lead.
to the party.
Oh. No, we totally know each other. I mean, I guess we haven't met in person. Oh, hi, I'm Rowan. Cobble Porch Pot. There's a hyphen between Toss Cobble and Porch Pot.
So that wasn't just part of the dream. You actually are who I met in the other worlds.
Yeah.
Hey. So
Wait, you say that we were only an experiment for months, but if we've known each other for years...
I've only known you for 3 months, as far as I can remember.
Oh.
Yeah, so we met in like the dream thing. So I mean, like we do kind of know each other.
Yeah.
Well, and this is sort of the thing that he obviously can't answer about you, but you all have memories of your pasts together. So maybe after some time has passed and the fog of everything that's happened has cleared, you'll be able to determine what was real and what wasn't. But at least at the moment, you all have histories that you are all aware of, and for all intents and purposes are real enough to the 5 of you. So,
Where's Roadkill?
at that, that's a good question.
Sorry, what was the question?
Where
Where
is
is Roadkill?
You should ask the tiefling that.
I had a mouse who lived in my hood. I sent
In
the
my
mouse
hood.
to Vajra. Did this ripple send the mouse to Vajra?
And he starts laughing, and Boskin says, "We had heard stories that I didn't countenance as true. One day, not long ago, the Blackstaff was said to have been out at a meeting with the Open Lord, with Madame Silverhand, and a mouse appeared on her shoulder, and the 2 women both nearly killed the thing before it began to speak to them."
Yes, I know the feeling.
He says, if that is indeed your friend, he is quite safe.
I'm so sorry. Are you saying that what we've experienced the past few months was all a dream?
He says, well, yes and no. What you experienced was very real to all of you. My sources tell me that, as I've mentioned, many of the things that you experienced, and we believe what some of the other individuals who are part of this experiment experienced, became very real and had very important repercussions here in our reality here in Waterdeep. I will also say that our Hin friend here, his quickness to revive his friend, the half-orc, in the chamber was well thought, because there was every possibility that had she sustained lethal injuries in her alternate reality, she would have perished here in our reality.
Oh.
Don't think for a minute that what you have experienced didn't matter or wasn't real in many ways. Manchun is being ousted from the city. What else happened? Davil was able to gain a foothold in the fight against Manchun because of information that came to him from you all. A peculiar individual showed up at the City Watch one day in the Castle Ward and was arrested for various crimes. Some noblewoman named Vivette Blackwater. No one seems to know how she got there. So the things that you did, perhaps not all of them, and I can't speak to all of your experiences because I didn't experience them, but a significant portion of what you did, what you heard, what you said, had repercussions here in the real world.
And she'll just look over at Rocky and just...
So, about the big vault full of gold that we were being used to find.
He says,
is
yes.
Is that like a thing?
You said you found that. That could be problematic, actually. If you found it, and it was in fact its true location, that means that the Xanathar knows where it is and will undoubtedly be heading there post-haste. And at that moment, you all feel a tremor in the ground. And you hear a booming voice outside of this building laugh. And it's an insane sounding laughter. And Boskin sort of looks concerned and gestures to his 4 associates who follow him outside of the building.
Okay, so quick question. How do we know we're not still in the tubes? What will say to everybody.
The question,
Annie.
isn't it?
Annie, what was the thing you had to forget?
Yeah, I was gonna say Annie tries to say it, I guess, or whatever.
Tries to say it and she can't.
Okay. Yep. Nope.
Is this a spinning top
Took
kind of
it.
thing?
So you all are alone in the building at the moment. The others have rushed outside.
I needed that gold.
What's that?
I needed that gold. So I gave up everything just to have a chance to kill them all.
Boskin pokes his head back in the door and says, I think you all will want to see this.
Great.
We'll
Okay.
follow.
So you come outside, and Boskin is saying, as you walk out, he's speaking to one of his associates, and you hear him say, there have been a lot of very strange things that I have seen here in Skullport, but this takes the cake. And as you come outside, you see above you, not in the sky, but like sort of on the ceiling of this underground chamber, you see this enormous rune lighting up the entire city. And I could describe it to you, but I would do it poorly. I wonder if I have a picture of it somewhere. Well, anyway, there's a big old rune, and none of you know what it is, up in the sky. It is glowing an angry red up in the sky. And as you look at it, you see that falling from it are strange, sparkly flecks. And one of them falls very close to you and hits the ground with a solid clink. And you look down, and you see that it's a gold dragon, the coin, not the creature. And it appears to be beginning to rain gold.
Hallelujah.
And the laughing voice continues to laugh, and finally the laughter subsides, and a voice says loudly into the cavern so that all can hear. The voice says, don't say that Hallister Blackcloak never gave you anything.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Blackcloak.
Oh, God.
And that is a perfect closing line for this season of Waterdeep
Oh
Dragon
my
Heist.
god.
It seems that you all have found yourselves amidst the machinations of the Xanathar, Hallister Blackcloak, the Mad Mage of Undermountain, and currently you are in the city of Skullport. Don't know how you got there or how you're going to get out, but that's a story for another day. Folks, thank you all so much. It has been a true pleasure, and I cannot thank you enough. Let's start this outro off by just going around and everybody say who you are, where we can find you going forward, and very quickly what your favorite moment of the night was. Let's start with Max tonight.
Max, I can be found on Twitter and other variant roles things. Everything's all Max D20. My favorite part of the night was how I have no idea where that emissaries of thing came from, but I'm very glad it worked. I think,
yeah, absolutely. Jonathan.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Cox. I can be found at Red Hand Roleplay on Twitter, which is the actual play podcast that Allison and I and a few others are involved with. Yeah, my favorite moment. Well, I was the twist with Hasha was quite a twist. It was well hidden.
Did you know about that?
No,
I had no idea.
You, Jonathan, you had no idea. Cool.
Yeah, I
He
had
just
no
asked
idea.
me to figure something out.
Yeah, that was great. And then Theron teleporting into Manchun, and then it was very dangerous times for Rocky.
Yeah, you were this close to getting turned to stone. It's a good thing you failed that con save. That second con save.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
All right, excellent. Allison, where are you? Over here.
Yeah. My name's Allison, and you can find me, well, I'm still talking like Annie there for a minute, on Twitter, Atletica05, and also with Jonathan, Red Hand Roleplay. And favorite moment of the night had to be how Annie's secret didn't actually kind of come out. It sort of did, but not like fully like I thought it would. So that was very great.
Yeah, I have to tell you, not a well, Max's secret had crossed my mind for that key, but the first and the third keys, that was not what I was expecting, and I loved every second of it.
Now, did you know, Eugenio?
I did know. I had forgotten,
okay.
but I did know.
Okay.
Yes. As soon as Steven said it has to do with Rocky, I immediately remembered and knew what he was going to do.
Gotcha.
Phenomenal. Alex.
Ooh. Okay. I'm Alexander Gaston. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma or on Instagram and Twitch at Haldaggers. Oh man. Favorite moment of the night would, I think, also have to be the just utter pain. Like, not that it was like super gratifying. It was hard for me to watch Allison as Annie like go through that. That was tough.
It was real good.
So amazingly, and it just like broke my heart to have that. I would have taken it from her if I could have, but that was awesome.
Thanks, Feels.
Last but most certainly not least, Steven.
Hi, I'm Stephen Rowe. I can be found on Twitter at RightRowe. I was going to say the Annie moment, but I'll have to go instead with the happy, quirky, awkward moment in the hallway right before everything went to shit.
Oh my God, yes, it was amazing.
It was just so quintessentially this team.
Yes, it
and
was.
We had that perfect moment right before cracks just got driven between our love for each other.
Yes,
and so that was looking back on it, I think the highlight of the evening.
Definitely. I am Eugenio Vargas, also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jazzy Hands from the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge. Go check us out. You can find my personal Twitter at Eugenio_Vargas. You can see the spelling right here. You can find the podcast at DND Last Refuge. this has been such a fun and exciting adventure. There is so much in this book for all of you 5 players and also for all of you viewers. Like, even if you watched all 4 of the teams all the way through, go out and get this book and run it and play it. There is so much more that we didn't have time or that just didn't come up within this Variant Roles running of it. It is such a great book. And you all have been so wonderful and such a pleasure to wrangle the cats that you are through this adventure. And I know that was in some ways frustrating and unsatisfying and confusing ending to the season. In a lot of ways, I feel like, and the 4 DMs have talked a lot about this, is right on brand with everything that has happened for us so far. That said, there are a lot of questions that are still unanswered. If you would like to hear the answers to those questions, they're going to be slowly rolled out in a few different places. There are still 3 more finales this week that you should come and watch because more information about this reality, whatever, are going to be revealed as more teams have their finales. The next finale is going to be on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, then Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and the last one is going to be on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Check those out. More is going to be revealed. We are also scheduling, because we're so close to the holidays, is a little bit tough right now, but we're really trying to find a time that the 4 of us who DM'd the 4 different teams can get together for a brief roundtable that we can stream to answer further questions, wrap up loose ends, explain some stuff, talk about what our process was in planning this and coordinating this. So keep an eye on the Variant Roles Twitter at Variant Roles. And this channel for information about if and when that will be. Speaking of this channel, we have so much more in the works coming up. Variant Roles is in the process of really doing some incredible expansions. I cannot thank Dan Gaston enough for his amazing work with this series and his really exciting work for what is to be an exciting 2019 for Variant Roles, the channel. Please, please, please follow them on Twitter. Follow them here on Twitch so that you get notifications. If you are able to subscribe to the channel here or head to their Patreon, patreon.com/variantroles, and become a patron. There is some really cool stuff. We are in the process of planning, hopefully something that is going to be very different, but something that we will do for Dungeon of the Mad Mage. That's a few months off, but there's going to be a lot of other programming, not just Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of other programming is going to be coming to you through this channel. It's all very exciting. So please follow us. If you can give as a patron or subscribe here, that is super helpful. Yeah, keep an eye on all of that. What else do I have to announce? I think that is basically it. I'm mostly stalling for time because I can't bear to say goodbye to this campaign. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. Thank you all so much for watching. Though we will be talking about this for many days to come, eventually we will go on with things, but you should still get in touch with all of us. Follow us all on Twitter. Chat with us. Let us know what you thought. And become a part of the Variant Roles community. We'd love to see you around. Thank you all so very much. Hopefully we will see most of you back on Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the Autumn Cruise finale. Keep an eye out. Thank you. Thank you, Alex and Sil. Thank you, Allison and Annie. Thank you, Jonathan and Rocky. Thank you, Stephen and Rowan and Hasha. And thank you, Max and Theron. This has been a pleasure and an honor. I look forward to DMing for all of you in the future and to seeing all of you lovely viewers in the future as well here on Variant Roles and who knows where else. Thanks. Good night.
Thank you, Enio.
Happy gaming.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I hope so too.
Oh, that's it.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
I am this close to crying.
Okay. I wish that I had been able to tell you more, but I had to leave some behind for the other crews.
Of course.
Sure.
But you can ask me questions if you want.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that the reason
Dan
why
can still
everything
hear
went
us. Dan
crazy.
can still hear us. Dan can still hear us.
Ah!
Yeah, it was just.